as you both well know, you killed a male deer-headed chicken, fought some kobolds,
And then killed a
climbed the
female
mountain,
deer-headed chicken.
almost died climbing the
Yes.
mountain, almost died in the cave of the deer-headed chicken, and then killed the female deer-headed chicken. So a lot of killing of deer-headed chickens.
Yep.
But we did roll the loot that you would be getting uh, last time before we went off, and I will
Yes.
I will find my page.
I think it was like 4 healing potions
I have that part, but I don't have the
and
part with,
two
money on it.
scrolls.
Yes,
Uh,
but so you've not like this thing has just been freshly killed, right? So what are you doing now? Its
Uh,
still warm body has just dropped dead to the ground.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull a Star Wars. We're gonna get Talia, who's freezing solid, cut it open, and then shove her inside.
we are not gonna do that.
You could try and do it. It might work.
Oh,
Right. I'm gonna go over.
need to get a fire going.
Car, get Talia, carry Talia over here.
Andrew, could we move back to that map? No, or is there really no need?
There's no point.
Oh, okay.
Um, take like, a good bit of Is the nest big?
Oh yeah, it's like maybe
Pretty huge.
like 6 feet across, maybe more.
Okay, yeah. Just take a shitload of like wood from it and sticks and kindling and
We'll set a wee pile of it to one side, get a fire going.
get a fire going.
Now, since you're in such a cold environment and you're injured from the battle and you're climb up, you're gonna have to start making survival checks to
God.
build a good enough fire
Hold on, I
and
don't
then
have the
light it.
character sheet open.
God damn it.
Okay. So do I just roll a survival
Roll a
check?
survival with disadvantage
Disadvantage,
because
yeah.
you're still fucking half frozen. So you're trying your best to build up a fire and get it lit. Well, both of you are trying your best to build up a fire and get it lit,
Ooh.
but you're really shaky. Like you're trying to strike your flint and steel, but you're shaking that bad you can't get a good strike off. You can't even like build the fire properly. Like as Kark's putting down sticks, he's shaking that much that he just knocks the fire over. Like you're you're really bad at this point.
Can I light my Molotov?
You
Oh
could,
God, what are
yeah.
you doing
That
with
would
that?
be easier.
Do I have to roll for that, or
No, since you're not really like trying to light an actual fire, all you need is just any spark to just light it.
okay? Light the Molotov, and then
And throw it at the pile
get
of
everyone to
sticks.
stand back from the fire and throw the Molotov at the fire.
So this pile of sticks that's just been tipped together that isn't much of a fire,
Okay, well,
but
I will. Can I fix it?
you can try one more time to fix it
Oh,
to see if it turned out
How do
any
you,
better than a
how do
fire.
you fuck up a fire?
well, if it's
Well,
just a pile of sticks
you
that'll
need to
fall
have
over.
the sticks, set up so that they'll kind of meet in the middle.
Yes.
So you can
obviously
actually
haven't
start
been
like a
able to
good
do
fire. Like these sticks could just be scattered on the ground, not even
No,
hardly in a pile, because he's
hasn't
shaking
really
that bad.
hasn't
There could be
worked, has
two
it?
larger sticks. Maybe the sticks were slightly damp, but your pile of wood is not great. The pile of wood is an
We're
absolute
gonna
mess.
die
We're just
up
getting a
here.
big. We're just getting a shitload of wood, like a shitload of it. Just putting it all in
Well,
a
not
big
all of it.
pile, right?
Some of it is damp wood as you start bringing it over, but you're so cold you can't tell that it's damp wood.
Right.
But
Doesn't matter.
it but
Throwing the
it
Molotov at it and
does
putting it on fire.
it does light, and it's an extremely smoky fire as it starts to burn, filling
You
the
get a wee bit of a
cave
headache and
quickly
eyes hurt,
from
but you're alright.
with smoke from the damper wood as it struggles to burn
We did put it. Well,
close to the
uh,
entrance.
Yeah,
Further in?
it would make sense.
No, I would say further in because then there's less wind.
But then the
But
smoke builds
smoke
up
can't
easier.
leave.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna do it in that bit, you know the way where we
This is why I
found
wanted the map.
Talia,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, like the
Ah, that would
big
do.
sort of open bit across from that. It was sort
That
of
would do.
Well,
Aye.
you if your pile does start to light now that you've chucked the Molotov onto it and the oil has pretty much just exploded over it everywhere.
I
It
also need to
seems
get
like
rid
it
of that
was
Molotov.
quite effective strategy.
How do I delete
Yeah.
things from my inventory?
Click the little lock at the bottom, and then it brings up the little bin symbols, the red ones.
Oh, okay.
So you now have a fire. It's probably not gonna last super long compared to like a structured, well-built fire, but it's giving you warmth. You're not as cold.
Right. We need to get Talia next beside the fire to try and de-thaw a wee bit. Should be a bit frostbite by the look of her probably.
Well, the fire's already like going.
Beside her.
The
Oh,
the
okay.
cave is starting to kind of heat up. The chill isn't as bad, and it's not that difficult to just drag her over to it.
Right. Well, she's
Get
already
her
on
close.
fire.
Basically, just get everyone round the fire and just keep feeding the fire, and then
I would
Now,
like to go
I'm gonna
de-feather
do-
non-bird.
I'm gonna do a roll to determine how much usable material like you could really get out of this.
Usable material.
So who's gonna
Wood?
be like manning the fire and trying to keep it burning as long as possible?
probably me.
You will need to make a survival check to keep them into the
don't
fire
think there's gonna be enough
maintained
wood for
the
a day.
rest. Well, there's enough wood for a couple days, but
Okay.
it's maintaining your wood. So you could roll a 1 and you've thrown on twice as much wood as you need to use. Or roll a
Okay.
20 and use. Okay, so
Not great.
in your panicked, almost frostbitten state, you're putting on more wood than you really need to try and like get the fire built up and burning stronger. So your supply has dwindled a bit more than it needed to.
I'm a Protestant. There can never be enough wood in a fire.
There's never enough pallets on the 12th to burn.
Okay, so what were you gonna do, Mackay? Carrick's going to.
De-feather the bird and start shoving them. I don't know. I don't really know my armor arrangement. I've chainmail, then I've leather, and then I'm assuming I'm wearing clothes underneath that.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
think so. Just pack feathers.
Well, you're going to
Between
make.
my-
Just cut the wing off and wrap it around you.
So
uh,
you're just trying to pull the feathers out.
either
okay.
that or cut them. Either that or I don't know. I don't know how to actually defeather a bird
Uh,
as such. So
Just roll. We'll say an animal handling check. since it's-
disadvantage.
Oh yes, because you're still cold. You haven't.
I'm
haven't,
only
like, rest-
4?
So you're trying to pull these feathers out, but you're shaking real bad. A lot of the ones you pull out have been torn to pieces, cut up from all the attacks done. Some of the really nice, long, intact ones you try to yank out, you just break the feathers and they're kind of hanging limp now. So you get 4 feathers.
Only 4 from a bird
Yes.
the size of.
Only 4 good ones at the minute.
Oh,
You
Well, he
could
doesn't
try and
really
get more
need
later.
good ones.
Yeah, I know. Just stuff
He
the
doesn't
whole lot
really
in.
need the good ones. He just
But
wants
like
them
the
to-
rest of them, they're literally like cut in half. You get like
I
an
would-
inch of a feather.
Aye, but he doesn't like. He just wants to stuff them into his
To
clothes.
give me some insulation.
Then you have not very many feathers stuffed into you.
Okay.
Like
Can I do
it's
that
not going-
again, or
it's not going to help. You can do it
Oh.
again later, not straight away.
not?
This is
straight
you
away?
like the whole day pretty much, trying to stuff these feathers into you.
the
And
whole day.
you can't
Why?
just keep
What?
spamming rolls to try and succeed. Like it needs to be different actions. So like setting up the fire, trying to light the fire, now maintaining the fire. So you've been trying to stuff
Um,
yourself with feathers. Like you've essentially failed. You got them in and they're all just falling out.
Right,
before you
fine.
stuff them. So you'll need
Liz-
to try like later in the night or in the next day.
Saying
not
that
gonna
Talia
work.
is sitting beside the fire now, does she look any better, or does
It's
she
gonna
still look?
take a while to tell if there's any effects.
Well, considering
Like,
her.
by
I
the
don't
next,
even know if she's alive or not.
she is unconscious or dead at this point. You can't tell.
Right, well, basically, I'm just gonna eat some rations and drink some food.
Oh, I was gonna like
Did I just say eat some rations and drink some
go
food?
kill the bird.
I don't know.
Go kill the bird. Or not kill it, but freaking just cut a nice bit of chicken wing out of there and
No, I'm
fire on.
just gonna eat my rations. Because I've got
Okay.
3 days of rations left, so I'll eat
It's gonna
one
take
now.
us a couple of days to get down though.
It
Yeah,
will. But I'll let you decide what you want to do for food to try and make it.
I wanted to cook some lovely deer-headed
Thank you.
eagle, but am I allowed to?
You can
Or am I
certainly
just-
try to.
you have the roll to cut it up.
Oh, well,
Sure.
not for this. Like, it's already cut up bad enough that you can just. There's some chunks of meat, like, that are almost falling off it at this point. It's more
Right.
of the unknown
This is
effect
from
it
the
might
bird,
have.
right?
It's from the
Big
bird,
giant.
yeah. As long as it's bird, then I will gladly cook it on the fire.
So you're
and-
gonna, like, skewer it on, like, one of your daggers and
Yes,
cook it over the fire?
provided it's not brutally contaminated with feces. But yes.
Let me, look a wee thing up.
I'm gonna
That
get food
I
poisoning now.
don't know if it's a thing. I think it's a thing, but I need to define it to see how it works.
I mean,
I'm thinking of a thing that neither of you would have any clue what I'm thinking of. Here we go. Is
what
it
if it's like
here?
got fucking, I don't know. Makes you sick and die. Or turns you into a bird.
I just need to find the thing I'm looking for, and then
Alright.
I'll be able to tell you what to do. Because this is going to be quite important for this decision. But there's no going back. You've already
I'm not
decided
gonna
you're
turn
eating it.
into a bird, am I?
I don't know yet. Maybe you will.
Could be
real
like
hand-
a pufferfish, and if you don't cut it right, it then poison you and kill you.
Well, I'll call bullshit on that. Like, you can't have poisoned mussel that you go and eat.
Well, this is a guy like an eagle with a deer's head. This is a pretty fucked up monster. Like, you've no way of knowing what
But
additional
you can't-
properties it
you-
could have.
You can't have like corrosive blood.
Oh, you can.
Like-
What?
Think about it, Macaulay, right? If you went out into the woods and found a 2-headed deer, would you eat it?
Yes. I wouldn't eat the two-headed part.
Ugh.
Just. Oh, if it was radiation, okay, then I'd probably question it a bit more. Other than that, nah. Grand.
Where the fuck is this thing?
See, if it was in Chernobyl, then yeah, you would start to ask a couple of questions. Radiation does fuck you up.
So wait a minute. If you weren't near a radioactive area and you found a 2-headed deer, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's fucking perfectly normal.
Well, it wouldn't be perfectly normal, but it would still eat it if I killed it. Needs must.
I'm beginning to think the thing I'm thinking of isn't a thing.
You have some serious issues.
There we go. Nope, that's
Better
not
off
it.
in my tummy than if I'm considering eating grass at this point. I mean, I don't want to become a vegan. There's no harm to you.
Well, I can't find
the
the
world
thing
end.
I'm looking for, so I'll just say for now, make a Constitution saving throw.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Normal? Disadvantage?
This one's normal. 'cause
Normal.
It's a saving
Ooh,
throw.
Okay. Yay.
Hmm.
So- Okay,
Got lucky there.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I did. Well, I roll fours there continuously.
So that counts as your day's food, but what about your day's water? Just gonna drink from your water skin?
I'll have to drink from the non-water thing.
Drink its blood, Macaulay.
I don't know why you'd do that. But what is it that you can? No, ignore me. I'm thinking of something here. It's gonna take me way wild. I'll just drink water.
Okay, so you take a drink from your water skin to sate your thirst. Do you want to, what now that you've got a fire going, had your meal, do you want to actually, like, collect whatever loot you can
I-
find within the cave?
Yeah. I was gonna say, can we have a look about, see what weapons have dropped or
Okay,
some
so
gold or
to begin with, you find, like, on these, like, other fresher looking bodies,
yeah.
you find the 4 health potions and the 2 scrolls. The scroll of guiding bolt
Yes.
and the scroll of mirror image.
The Zeus bolt and the mirror image. Yep.
You there? It's not really a Zeus bolt. but
Well, okay, yeah.
you can call it the Zeus bolt.
That's what I'm gonna call it. Magic.
You also, like, how thoroughly would you say you searched the room that's literally full of shit?
Oh, considering
Well,
that, you know,
got nothing
well,
better to do.
depends on my character. Like, you know, myself, I've had a lot of experience with shit, so it probably wouldn't phase me. But my character, you'd probably throw up, like, if you stayed in there too long.
Oh, you would throw up.
You would
Yes,
definitely throw
but
up.
how thoroughly do you want to try and search that room?
Not super because it's full of shit.
Okay, and then
An
Does-
average search.
does Varric
Nothing.
wanna, like, try and search that room full of shit?
Oh yeah.
Decomposing bodies? Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so searching through the whole cave, checking the bodies, the room full of shit, you find roughly about 900 copper,
Holy sh! Right.
about 250 silver, and 190 gold.
Oh my god.
Across all the bodies. You're finding like little coin pouches, coins just scattered across the ground. Like, you never notice it during the fight, but now that you're actually looking around, there's a lot of coins that have just collected up in this cave from all the
Oh,
kills
wow.
this creature's had.
Bitch was trying to be
So-
smog.
Carrick, you take the scrolls and I'll take the money.
No, I need money for a bow.
Now hold on, you need to wait for the rest of the things that you
Oh,
might
flip! I've
find.
forgotten about. I forgot about all that.
So, what you also find in terms of weapons, there's a couple, like, shitty, simple weapons, like a short sword here, a mace on the other side,
Yeah.
and then you find one of the bodies wedged in between some of the stalactites, and
The Holy Grail.
grasped in its hand is a longbow.
Mine. Condition.
Do an investigation roll to inspect it.
This is gonna be terrible. 50-50.
The bow feels heavy and cold. Probably not a good idea to shoot it until you get it looked at.
I have
Um,
to get it looked at. Okay.
yeah. You also
Probably just
find
needs stretched out because it's probably just
frozen, and that's a
Frozen.
very bad thing.
He thawed a wee bit down.
death
south.
or by the fire.
You also find 5 javelins.
Okay.
Okay, that's interesting.
I don't know what we're gonna do with them, but I'm sure it's useful.
They're a good potential ranged weapon for someone who
Is
doesn't have a
there- are
ranged
there-
weapon yet.
Are they?
Reptiles. Yes.
Is there like a pouch for them or?
Yeah, like they're in like a wee like
A
throwing
carrier.
sack that you can hang
Yeah.
over your back.
What damage are
Don't ask
javelins?
questions. Macaulay.
Sorry, just want
Uh,
to
you
know.
would-
Somebody's
you
gonna have
would-
to yeet them at some point.
You would gauge that the javelins would be about as effective as a short sword, roughly.
Oh, D6. Okay, that's not bad.
Though they are more of a strength-based weapon than a dexterity-based weapon.
Right. Okay.
Well,
I'm not very strong.
Though it's better than no ranged weapon.
That is true. That is true.
You also find another chain shirt.
cool.
It seems in a pretty battered condition, about the same as the ones that like your party has been wearing so far.
So yeah, fucked up.
And there's also some studded leather.
I call the stud leather. Does it look alright? You know, probably covered in a
It's
bit of blood and
It's
stuff.
seen
But I mean,
better days, but it is usable.
well, that's all that matters.
And then there is also a long sword.
I'm not a melee guy. You can have that.
A long sword is a strength-based weapon, not dexterity.
I am not strength.
Though-
Okay.
Though the long sword seems to be
Is it a dual wielder?
no, it's like you
Oh.
can one-hand it or you can
Oh.
two-hand it. It's like an in-the-middle sword.
Oh, it's in the middle. Okay.
But the longsword seems to be unaffected by the conditions of this high. It's the item in the best condition.
Well, it is made of steel, so that's what I
Oh.
would.
Like, you find a short sword and a mace that are also made of steel, but, they're extremely cold, frosted over. This sword
So this
seems as though it is
magic.
unaffected.
Might have magical qualities. Take it.
Yes,
Take
but
it.
you can do Arcana checks if you'd like, both of you. With disadvantage, of course.
He's the
Nah,
man.
I'll not
he's-
even try it because I.
Oh,
You never know, you might do well.
Oh, friggin', I'll do one advantage.
It's pretty much
Arcana.
like every day
No, it's
attempts to do it. And I see. No.
That's
That's
not bad.
that's
not
not
bad. I've
bad.
never rolled Arcana.
Got a 12.
well, it's better than a 10. But you can easily
Wait,
make
was
the
that-
assumption that there is
is it-
some form of enchantment on this blade. It's not a
But
normal
with
sword.
20. Okay. right.
Obviously, didn't help the person that was wielding it.
Well, not in the current fight, because they had two big birdies to deal with instead of one. But
Yeah, rip.
that is about roughly all of the stuff that you find that's usable. There is a lot more
Yeah,
gear
stuff
that's just fucking wrecked, like broken spears, shattered swords. It's
More
a
wood for the
mess.
fire.
I know it's a real shame. You know, it'd be real helpful if we had someone that had mending. You know,
Yeah, that would be nice.
yes, that would be really helpful.
Is this a plug for Zoe's character?
So, do you just want to say or do anything else in the cave, or like stay the night there, or leave?
Bandage my crippling wounds if I haven't done it already.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
Collie,
stay the night.
what way do you want to split the loot?
That is an important thing to do.
Right.
But remember, this is Carrick and Beric, not Collie and Jake.
You can have the sword and
Oh, yeah.
armor. You're combat focused. I obviously call dibs on the bow. There's no real arguing about that because I am ranged and built for ranged.
Yeah, I can use a bow too.
You can use a bow, but you're probably not as good at it as with me.
Mm,
Because I'll jump from a D6 to a D8, and I have Hunter's Mark, which is an additional D6.
What are these?
And I have plus
D's you
7 to
speak
hit.
of?
Yeah, alright, okay.
I'd say we split the money evenly down the middle.
Oh, do I give any
Um,
to the other ones? No. No.
Yes, you've got to remember
We are thieves, like you know.
your little recruits would also be doing
They are still there and they are still alive. Wait, they didn't take any damage, did they? Or they took a bit?
Kieran
not
is the
that.
only reason you're still alive because he got hit first.
Yes, that's true. Forgot about
Right,
that.
we will. How about this? Right, we'll leave the money now, and we'll see if we'll split the money in the morning, depending on the situation. How about that? We'll split the other stuff now.
That is, I also support this decision.
Just in case one of you died, the other one gets all the money.
Um, Do you want the scrolls?
I'll let you have one. Like, if we're splitting money, like I just don't know which one is better for the both of us. Like, we can
So
sort of work both ways.
What do
guiding
both of
bolt,
them
guiding a
say?
bolt is an attack, and mirror image it pretty much makes you harder to hit.
I would say off that you're probably better off with the mirror image
Yeah, I'll take
if
the
you're
mirror
if
image
you're
one.
close, and I'll take the Zeus bolt, even though it's not Zeus. But that's what it's referring to.
What else?
There's the short sword and the mace, if either of you want those.
Nah, fuck that.
I would give the mace to one of our comrades, or the sword even. What do they have?
They already
Spears?
have better weapons than the short sword.
They already have
Umar
better
has
weapons? Oh, no
Umar
point.
has a scimitar, which is
Ooh.
is a short sword essentially, just curved. And Kieran has the spear and the crossbow.
I'll take the long sword.
I'll give the I'll just put the short sword beside Talia's frozen. Well, I'm not gonna say corpse. She's not dead yet. But I'll just leave it beside her and see if she wants.
So it's
'Cause none of
agreed
us
that
want it, like,
the potentially magic longsword is going to go to Beric.
yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not as effective at it with as he.
There's then
would
the
be.
studded leather.
I'll take the studded leather as
He can
well.
have studded. I have
Are
no
you gonna
argument with
put
that.
the studded leather on or just carry it?
Carry it.
And then the chain shirt.
Is it
Carry
better
it,
than
you
the
want
one I'm wearing?
It's pretty much the same.
I'll carry it anyway.
And then there's the 5 javelins.
I'll take those.
Okay, yeah.
And lastly, we
Not
have
really
4
sure what
health
to do.
potions.
Split them evenly out
Two each, yeah.
each.
They're handy in sticky situations.
They are. They can save your ass.
Actually, I might give the javelins to Umar.
You could.
Yeah, I'll give the javelins to him.
Okay, he now has the javelins. He looks very grateful at being given a ranged weapon now that you've been fighting so many flying
Oh, so is
things.
he a scimitar and javelin boy now?
Scimitar, shield, and javelins.
That's not a bad loadout, like. You'll do alright with that.
Okay, so I've got the loot divided up on my page.
Yes.
Now what do you want to do? Stay the night?
Stay the night, yeah.
Yep,
I mean,
stay the night and
need to
hope
try and
that
warm
we
up.
warm up and don't get worse.
Okay, so who's staying up when to look after the fire?
I will do. I was gonna say I'll do the first one.
Okay, you can do the first one, and
We all take turns with the fire. Yeet, 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 yeet. Obviously,
Right.
Talia can't.
or how
move.
about me and you'll stay up in the first one, and then Umar and
Oh yes.
Kieran can stay up in the second one.
Let's do that.
Okay, so you both need to roll some during the night survival checks with disadvantage to keep the fire
Oh.
burning.
Oh, he rolled a 1. Is it
Now,
really much
you have to
fun when you roll a-
counteract this with an extremely good roll or...
Nope.
Okay, so...
Looks like we're leaving in the morning.
These are both extremely cold. You're beginning to drift off to sleep from your injuries, just from the long travel. And as you're both drifting out, Beric passes out first, and just like as Carrick's eyes are closing, you see the fire just sputter out.
No.
You haven't been paying enough attention to it during the dark.
No.
Because you're so tired. You'll both
What's
now
what?
need to.
That's my pajamas. It was cold last night.
You'll both now need
Yes,
to
bitch.
try. Well, you'll have to wake him up
Give me a minute.
and then try and get the fire back burning in the cold to survive. That was a very bad time to roll a 1. Very bad time.
It always is.
Yep, it's always the worst times, and then someone rolls a 1. God damn it. So I'm assuming he would woke you up, because McCoy just left, did he?
Back.
No.
Okay, so you've now saw the fire pretty much sputter out. There's some embers left. Maybe like a really, really low, small flame, but you have left it so long in your exhaustion that it's pretty much gone. And
Not good.
Beric is asleep next to you as you were watching the fire. And you're pretty much on the edge of falling asleep yourself.
I'll have
So-
to try and wake Barrack here because I need him to get wood, and I might try use my flask of oil. This could go horribly wrong.
Okay, so you shake Beric awake.
We need more wood. Fire's out.
Bye. Ugh.
So you're like piling up the wood as best you can and
Yeah,
gonna
we'll get
use
a.
oil to try and light it.
I'm gonna
Well, we'll maybe
try.
try to.
We'll
We'll
try
try
it
to
now.
just try to get the fire going normally first, and then
Yeah,
try
okay.
the oil.
Okay, so are you both gonna attempt to get the fire started or just what?
Yeah. Well, if one of us fails, I suppose it's
Make your
disadvantage
attempts. This cold is
disadvantage
deadly.
survival. Shit.
Okay,
right,
so-
oil it is.
So your combined effort gets the fire built up again, like the wood built up again, but you're striking at it, you just cannot get this wood to light, like, for fucking nothing. It's just not taking to the flame.
Use the oil, or we're gonna freeze to death.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
So taking 1 flask of oil. Are you gonna take all the flask or like part of the flask?
I'm gonna pour a bit on, and hopefully it starts. 'Cause oil's
So
pretty
like
damn
about
flammable.
half or
Oh,
quarter?
I'll say half. I'll pour half. Don't work. Pour the other half.
Okay.
But oil is friggin'
So
flammable shit.
pouring it on, it does eventually catch as you start striking. You're both sitting there with like your tinderbox is out, striking your flint and steel at it like mad, throwing sparks,
Don't you
throwing sparks everywhere until you get a good hit onto the oil, and fire crawls over the wood, and the fire just lights again, filling the immediate area with some warmth. You're not gonna die yet.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So the
Thank
rest.
God for oil.
So for the rest of the night, well, the rest of your watch, the fire stays lit.
Yes.
Well, that's
And then-
comforting.
Then you switch the watch.
Before I go to sleep, I'll leave the other flask of half
Leave it
oil.
out?
Just leave it beside me. So the option is there for the other two
Okay.
if they need it. Which they probably will.
Oh my god.
This is not an oh my. It's not a good oh my god.
No, this is a very bad. Oh my god.
You fall
I've
sick.
made 2. This is my first 2
Double
rolls
one.
so far.
Are they both ones?
They're
Well, both of them rolled a 1. For fuck's
Oh, fire, it's already
Wow.
fire.
Like,
We're gonna fucking die.
one of them rolled a 1 and a 19, the other one's a 1 and a 7. Like, I need to show you like this. Like, what the fuck? Even if they had like,
Thank you.
even if I'd rolled 1 dice, it would have still happened
I don't
because
understand.
it was the very first dice I rolled for each of them. And they were both 1s on their first roll. My
Lord
god.
above.
So, I'll do a wee percentage roll here to see if the fire makes it. So, do you want it to be odds the fire lasted through the night, or evens the fire lasted through the night? Because these two both
Evens.
passed out.
Oh, he's going for evens already.
Oh, 48. Lucky pick.
What do you roll for that? Do you just roll a D100?
I could really roll anything, but I picked a
Yeah.
D100.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's fine. Fine.
the morning creeps along, and you both start to wake with a bit of a chill in your bones, and you see that both Umar and Kieran have fell asleep. The fire is still burning, but it is burning low.
Restock the fire!
Since it didn't really get restocked the whole night, you're gonna have to make your constitution saves,
No!
but they won't be with disadvantage. They will be
This is-
straight constitution saves.
Oh, I don't know if 12 is good. It's
It's not horrible.
not horrible, but I don't
It's
know.
not
if it's enough.
horrible.
That's bad though.
Oh, that's bad, yeah.
Okay, so in the shelter of the cave with the low burnt fire, Carrick, Umar, and Kieran each lose a level of exhaustion, so they're to 1 instead of 2. But there's still a cold breeze that's drifting through, and it was just catching Beric. Beric was the only one this breeze seemed to get. You're like
Oh,
sleeping at
that's
the
so
edge of the group,
unfortunate.
and it just crept in. But it didn't give you another level. It just stopped you from gaining one.
Here's my
Or stopped
next
you from
big
losing one.
question.
So
Here's
you're
my
still
next
at
big
2.
question.
Everybody else is at 1.
What about
Oh, you want to know about
Talia?
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 Who's gonna check Talia?
I will.
Let me see.
Carrick will be
A
doing
medicine
everything from now.
check! Normal
So-
medicine, Andrew? Or...
Oh, you don't really need to do a medicine check. Her eyes
Oh.
are open, but she hasn't improved or got worse.
Oh,
She
that's not good.
rolled similar to Beric and is still on the edge of death, just almost gone.
I'm just gonna look at Barrack and go, shake my head, not good.
Right, Carrick, do we leave now and risk the 3 possible 4-day journey back down the mountain, or
What's
do
the-
we stay
Stupid question.
another day?
Andrew, wood condition enough? No?
You would gauge there's enough wood for a couple days if you manage it well.
I don't want to leave during the night. That's gonna really fuck us up.
It's hard to tell
These
how long.
eggs.
Yeah, the eggs are just kind of sitting there in part of the nest you haven't torn
Forgot
apart
about
yet.
the eggs. Flip me.
Yeah, there's 3 of
Could
them.
have had an out scrambled egg for breakfast.
Could I carry one of these?
The big?
Yeah.
Like, how much?
I want one too.
How much can I judge that it weighs? About 15 pounds.
Let me try and look up an item I would say it weighs similarly to.
What?
I would
is
say
there a
about
name?
10 pounds.
Is
for
there,
the
yeah,
egg.
I want one too. Is there a name for this creature?
I
Uh,
don't know.
roll
Oh, I have to
nature
roll.
check.
Oh, a nature check. Normal?
Or actually, no, roll history. History
It's
would
the
be better.
chickadeer, man. It's the chickadeer.
Nope.
Yeah, so you don't recall anything about ever hearing about a creature like this.
It's chickadeer. That's what it is.
But yes, Macaulay,
re-
you no longer have to roll disadvantage on your checks. Actually, do you?
Oh, thank
No, you do. Your speed just isn't halved.
Right.
So you can now move 30 feet, but you
Okay.
still roll disadvantage on checks. Which
Very
is really
good.
bad for going down the mountain. Really bad.
Yes, it is. So,
I'm gonna take one of the eggs and put it in my try to wrap it in some warmish.
dead man cloth.
Put
So
in
you're
my-
gonna try and bring it in your backpack, pretty much. You are
hopefully I
getting
won't fall
pretty
going down the
heavy.
mountain. I am, but I'm
I
not
would
gonna be
also
carrying
like an
anything
egg
else.
hunter.
So.
If possible. Oh, and I'd
Oh,
like
yeah,
an
cut-
egg and
You'll need to cut the head off that thing as well
And someone
will
will need,
we?
Oh.
before we leave.
need proof that you killed two.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll
Well,
take an
that's
egg
the
and the
relevant.
head. Wait, Okay, yeah, an egg and a head.
Well, you're gonna. I'm just looking at. Are you gonna eat this egg?
Oh no, I'm not gonna eat the egg. No, I want to do the same as you did, like wrap it up.
Bring it with you, you mean?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
about
yeah.
the other one?
I mean, we could have it for breakfast. You know, the unfried egg in the morning is
What do you get to
hard to
fry it
replace.
on?
How hard does the shell look?
Sh-
Pretty hard. Like,
Could we put it just beside the fire and let it cook, Garrick? Do you
That-
think
that
that
might
would
work.
work?
Ooh, I
I
don't
know.
think that would.
It would be boiled. As long as the egg
Uh,
didn't crack in the fire, like the heat should.
the problem I have with doing that is like, from a physics point of view, water has good, heat properties. Air does not. So I'm feeling like it'll be warm on one side and then absolutely freezing on the other.
Well, we could
Just turn it.
rotate it a bit.
You could turn it. Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
You give it a go. You give it a go.
Okay, I will give it a go, Andrew, and get food poisoning.
I'm
Oh.
just gonna rest more. You wake me up when that's.
So you're just like leaving the egg sitting next to the fire, occasionally turning it to try and cook it.
I mean, it could be fully developed. It could be a flippin' deer-headed thing. And
Wouldn't be a wee
as long
chicken
as it-
nugget then?
Do you
Wait,
want
chicken
to
nuggets.
see how far along in development it is?
Can I even do that in an egg?
Try to.
What am I rolling?
Tap on the side of it. See if
That
I
would
can
be
tap it
probably an animal handling check.
I will do that.
But Dewey, disadvantaged animal handling.
Oh, could it get any worse? Let's find out.
It probably could. Don't. Okay.
Yep.
So
No.
you the
Can I try?
shells. You could try. Yeah.
Oh, he's going for it.
Like on my like
Go for it, lad. Go
I
for
don't
it.
want to try it on like the one that like he's cooking. I just want to try it on mine.
Okay.
So as I look at it.
Oh, even
Oh.
worse than me.
So
Thank God I didn't roll a one because I probably would have dropped.
your minds are just like too foggy at this point with the cold setting in and just what's happened the last couple days. It's just really clouding your judgment,
Eggy round, eggy.
and you can't tell like how far along it is.
No, we'll paint a face on the egg, and I'll call mine Clive. That's how bad.
Oh yes, Mackay. Do you wanna
What?
see how Leroy's doing in the cold?
Oh shit! Levi!
It's fucking dead now.
Fucking froze.
Well, let me say this. Take. Let's see. Took you 1, 2, 3. Do
Oh no.
4 D20 rolls.
4 D20s. Oh my
Yep.
goodness. 1, 2. Where's the second one?
Okay, so taking Leroy out and having a look at him, he is worse off than you, but
Really?
no, not as bad as Talia. He's still
Okay.
alive. Your like pouch and how close he is to like your
Well,
heat.
luckily he doesn't have to roll.
Well,
Well, he does.
each step from now on
every
he
night.
will.
He will every night.
But he does look pretty chilled. There's some like frost in his fur, and he's just shaking like crazy. Poor
See, if I
thing.
take him out of the pocket and put him beside the fire, he'd probably just run into the fire like a retard. So,
But so is there anything else you'd like to try and do for the rest of this day?
I have an idea. I don't know if you'll allow this or not, because I would
Just
nearly
tell me
call
what it
bullshit.
is.
I'd nearly call bullshit on myself. Stalactites and stalagmites in caves
Yep.
usually have water vapor drip down them, but that's in limestone caves. We're not really in one of those. Does
Are
that
you?
apply in here? No.
Do a check and see what if you can
Okay.
judge what type of stone it is.
What am I rolling for a stone? Nature?
This
It's not
would be do investigation, but with advantage.
Advantage.
Because actually no, just a straight one because you already have
Straight one.
disadvantage. It's because it's mountains, and you know mountains.
Oh,
It's too cold. Like,
it's too cold.
the
Also,
stalactites and stalagmites, they do look damp and wet, but you don't know if it's a good idea to really lick that to get water from it.
no, I wasn't gonna lick it. You know, the water like drips down them, and it goes right to the bottom, and
It
then usually
drips
drops.
very rarely.
I was gonna
That's why
leave.
they take forever to grow.
I was gonna take a wee stick of water in the morning, and then just leave it
Oh,
underneath like a
there is like
stalactite or
they are
something.
damp, so you would assume water does drip out of them if you wanted to do that anyway. Just not knowing.
It's only a couple of drops, like, but you never know. I would do that in reality.
You
Like,
can try.
so I'll take when I drink in the morning. I'll go put my water to the side, and hopefully water drips in. Might have to wait at it for half an hour for a drop to fall, see if it goes in, but I'll persist. Nothing else to do the day.
Okay.
I'll
Does
let you
anyone want to
decide.
try and check the longsword today? See if they can get a better beat on it of what it might be.
Normal Arcana check, isn't it? May as well.
It would be a disadvantaged arcana
Disadvantage Arcana.
because you're still making a check.
Well, no, no improvement.
It's a sword. Sword sharp.
It's a sword. It's got a pointy end and a pommel.
Okay, so is there anything else you want to do, or do you want to then leave or stay another night?
Based on the condition of the party, I would feel better staying another day. But Tally is fucked. Like,
Talia is pretty bad.
she could die tonight, maybe.
Possibly.
So, what is your judgment? What do you want to do?
My vote will be stay another night, provided we have enough wood.
We're gonna just have to stay another night and pray that
Jacob's movement sucks a bag of dicks, so that's
I
what I'm worried about.
improve slightly and
If not, we just gotta book it anyway.
Okay. So, before you rest the night, who's doing the maintaining of the fire during the day?
we'll let Talia do it.
Oh, yeah.
Immediate double ones.
I'll do it because I roll. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. What do
Okay.
I roll?
This would be survival, still with disadvantage.
Still?
So you could both try and do it if you want.
Well, yeah.
Oh!
You might want to.
A 1
And
and
a 20.
Opposite ends of the scale there, fam. Like, come on.
Balance was I'll let your recruits also try and help you. So you
Please.
don't. Oh my
Technically,
god.
like all of us should just be just looking after the fire.
So-
Because I mean, what else can we really be
So
doing?
take a
Not
guess
much.
what I rolled.
2 1s.
Nah,
A,
two
nine,
20s.
a 19 and a 1. So I would say the 19, like, so pretty much
We're average here.
Kieran and Carrick are just going along trying to get some sticks, and then one accidentally trips the other, and you scatter the sticks, kind of knock part of the fire down, almost get burnt.
Oh,
and-
ow.
Barrack almost like trips over you in the cold, almost falls into the fire, and then Umar comes in and fixes it all up and stops the fire from going
Yeah,
out.
we're safe.
Yeah.
But for during the night, how are you gonna split it up?
Probably 2 and 2 again.
But who's the two and who's the other two? Are you both gonna go together, or
I think we'll do the exact same again. We'll do first.
and just
Yeah, do
hopefully
second.
not do as bad?
Yeah. Hope is a strong word, Andrew.
Okay. So make your nighttime tests.
Still survival disadvantage, yes.
Yep, until you get
Fuck.
improved. Oh my god, until you get improved enough
This sucks. Like,
that this is what exhaustion does. This is why you don't want it.
oh,
okay.
thank God.
So Barrack really pulls his weight tonight after falling asleep the night before, and
The tables have turned.
and keeps the fire really well stocked until the turning of the watch. And
Again,
okay,
if we're
so
if we're switching, I'll leave out my
uh,
oil. Just
during
in
during the
case.
night, Kieran is able to keep the fire going pretty well.
Ah,
They both rolled a 20, but they also then rolled a 13 and a 3. So they've rolled two ones the night before and then two 20s this night.
yeah, it's kind of
A lot of ones on 20s so far.
yeah.
So now that
Constitution saving throws.
they would all be at just normal, straight Constitution saving throws. I would say do it with advantage because the fire was kept up, nice, good and burning.
Yeah, thank
So
goodness I got that
16 for Carrick.
Woo.
What else
Alright,
we roll?
roll.
Just Constitution.
Just Constitution
With
save, lads.
advantage.
Oh, with advantage.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Because the fire and the cover of the cave is helping a lot.
Oh my!
So it's double 17s.
Oh, 17.
Nice. So,
What are the chances?
oh, do another one, Mackay, for Leroy there.
Oh shit. Oh, a normal D20 because I have
Just a normal
I've-
D20.
I have a plus
And two of them.
2, so that would be a little unfair, even though Leroy is. Oh no! Leroy!
He still has advantage because of the fire in the cave. Otherwise, that would have been very bad.
Yes!
Okay. So, Leroy, he seems to be recovering a bit. Carrick's recovering a bit. Umar is, well, actually, Macaulay, you're fully recovered now. Your movement is fine. No more
Yeah.
disadvantage. Umar is the same. Kieran is now on the same level as Beric. These are both on the first level, which is disadvantage on your checks, but your movement isn't limited.
That's enough.
And Talia, good thing there was advantage there, or she'd be dead.
Oh no.
I rolled a
Roll
1
one.
and then an 18.
Oh no.
And the 1 was the first die, so if it was just a straight roll, she'd be dead. That's a lot of fucking 1s are happening.
Bless her heart. Like, so she's
But
on.
Talia is starting to improve. You see that, like, she isn't saying anything, but she is starting to try and move around. Like, move her arms more, like, move her legs, kind of twist and turn a bit instead of just lying in one spot.
The problem is, I don't think we have enough wood left.
Oh, yes, but, did you want to,
for-
like, eat the egg before you went to sleep?
Oh, flip! I forgot about the. Crack it open and see what happens. It could be a live corpse. We've
Just make Constitution saves to make sure nothing, with advantage, I would say, because
Okay,
you cooked it very
Was
well.
was it a tasty fried egg or boiled egg? Or
So,
was it a corpse?
like, it was a pretty freshly laid egg, not that old. And, you
Okay.
know, it was pretty good, not cooked the entire way. Like, it wasn't like a solid, like, hard-boiled egg, it was more like
Nice.
a fried egg, like runny yolk.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Like a runny yolk.
In my opinion, that's better.
Oh,
Jake.
yes. You gotta have a
But
bit
Jake,
of
if you will,
runniness.
you need to make your some Constitution saves though, because you never know what might be in the egg. Maybe it's diseased.
That's a toss. Lovely
Or
egg.
So, it wasn't. We didn't open it up and there was no chicken nugget in it.
there
or
wasn't a
anything?
No,
chicken
it was just like a normal
It was
normal egg.
normal egg.
Oh, okay. Where's it got a Constitution with disadvantage or?
With advantage, because it was
Oh,
cooked
okay.
pretty well. Okay, so yeah, like, you just eat it down, it does have a strange taste to it, because like,
That's
it's
probably would.
not the kind of egg you're used to eating, but you
It's like eating
both
a
stuck
big
in
old
it.
goose egg, you know, a big old.
It-
Fucking
Italian
ostrich egg.
It does have a strange taste. The same kind of strange taste the meat that Carrick would have had. It's odd. It's not like anything you've tasted before, but it is a meal.
Oh, Andrew, another thing on things I forgot
Like
about.
mother, like child.
My water idea not work.
Do you want
Or
to see if it worked?
well, I want to see if it worked. Yeah.
Uh, well, do we roll here?
If it didn't work, I'm just gonna have to keep drinking the water and.
Yeah, it looks like you maybe got like one or two drips
Oh,
of water, but
only one or two.
it's not
Worth-
really enough to like
No, it's not.
affect. Though you
Worth-
are both like waking up on this morning, like you both have like 1 day of water left, pretty much.
We're
You're
just
running-
gonna have to
you're
eat the
running low.
snow. Just eat the snow, which is not
There,
great.
there is some snow this high up the mountain since it's that cold.
Can one of us will have to venture out and melt a bit of snow beside the fire
Is that what you want to do for this day?
for this day? Wood-wise, what do we got?
It's still looks like you got a couple days after the debacle of what happened.
So we're
The
potential for a
previous day,
third day.
Some of
Okay.
the wood, like, has been wasted.
Well, I only have
Run low on food. That's the thing.
I
And
have only
water.
like 2 days. I have one ration of water left for today, and one. Well, I'm not use my food because I ate the egg.
Yeah, that's why you've got 2 food and 1 water.
Right.
So
We're go-
Callie
I
has
wanna
3
take
food.
my need to take my water skin as well. Actually, probably taking everyone's water skin.
We'll have to do the water thing today, Andrew. I'd also like
Okay,
cut up some more of Von Bird today
so
and cook that. if
so like
that's-
one of you's filling up the water with snow,
yeah,
another one's butchering the
cook
bird.
cook a bit of chicken. It might last a day. In fact, it might last 2 days in the cold.
I'll. Macaulay can go or Carrick
I'll
can go out
sally
and do
out.
the water, and I will start cutting up this
So
bird.
going outside into the chill of the wind. I guess it's like your first time like actually going outside the cave. You
Yes.
can see that a storm is brewing. There is quite heavy snowfall beginning to land all across the mountain, and as far as you can see, like in the mountains, like you can't see down to ground level. You can't see
No.
the land, but any mountains you could see are covered in snow. There was like a light dusting of snow when you came up, but there is now like a good, thick, about foot of snow everywhere you look as you step out.
Shit.
You're going to need to make an acrobatics roll to make sure you do not fall down
Yep.
the mountain in this process of getting snow, but that's it.
Advantage? No.
Just a normal one. Well, you're in the mountains, so yeah, advantage, because you get advantage.
Oh my God.
So, you don't fall, you have a slip and tumble here and there, maybe bruise your elbow, but you get back safe with water skins full of snow.
We'll just set them beside the fire and
Okay.
it'll warm it up a bit.
So, how much of the bird do you want to, like, butcher?
Probably
A good wee bit, like.
good, but probably enough to.
Pardon me.
Probably cut the shit out of that bird. Like, I mean,
Like, anything you think you could eat, you cut it up?
yeah, because we're gonna like try to have to
Could I do the feather
up
thing again?
people's rations
I mean,
and
stuff
then.
your armor with feathers.
Let's see if it goes any
Did
better.
everyone eat a bit of the egg?
Yeah, everyone shared some. It's a pretty big
Right.
egg.
It's a big egg, like.
Is there any of the egg left?
No.
How much did you want to eat? Like,
Well-
just enough?
So just enough
Enough
to
for a
fill
day.
everyone.
Enough to fill everyone.
So, you would have pretty much ate about half the egg.
Oh, really?
Well, it's a 10-pound egg, and you need a pound of food a day.
Okay.
And you've got 5 people
Big
up
outlay.
there. So, the egg would last one more day.
Mm.
But for the bird itself, you would get. Let's see. You'll need to do a wee I would say sleight of hand check, or else a survival check.
With advantage or disadvantage?
You still
Or
have
normal?
disadvantage on your checks because you're cold. Macaulay does not. So you could realize this and choose. Well, you did good. You
Mhm.
deftly like cut through the meat, dicing it up, and let's see here. You would maybe get about enough meat to feed the entire group for about 3 or 4 days. Like,
That's quick.
That's enough. That's enough.
so I'll just put down like 3 to 4 days of meat.
So we got.
Is that
But-
uncooked meat?
That's uncooked meat, but cooking it's
not
easy
gonna-
enough.
We'll
Well,
go quicker
yeah,
now,
but-
sure.
Would need to cook it all.
Yeah, just cook it all right now on the fire.
Yeah,
Cook-
probably
cook it
try
all.
cook it all right now, because it'll probably
Shit,
take a wee
it
while to do it.
It would last. It would last a day or two before
And
it
it
would.
will not get a fire
Well-
going heading down the mountain, so.
Oh, you know, this raw meat is currently 3 days old, so cooking it as quick as possible would be beneficial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Have we already been here for 3 days?
you're on
This
day
is the
3 right
third
now.
day. This is the
Oh,
third day.
God.
So, is there anything else you want to try and do? You want to stuff your armor with
Stuff
feathers?
the feathers. Animal handling with.
Uh,
normal, is it or?
it's a hard thing to give a check to.
It is.
Just roll just a normal d20, and if it's
D20
not high
feathers.
enough, then I'll just pick something.
Nope.
Okay, so
Same again. Basically.
pretty
Doesn't
much.
really help your.
You don't feel any warmer. It just feels like it doesn't really have any effect against the cold.
Oh crap! We didn't do a check to see if we could cut the head off, or do we need to do that?
No, you cut the head off.
No.
Oh, okay.
I did
Like,
it when it
remember-
was-
The head was already almost fully severed off.
Oh
from
shit!
killing.
Yeah. 6
So-
stabs in the neck.
Yeah. But like you would have the feeling that you're really trying to use the wrong type of feathers. You would need like the plumage, like the fluffier feathers. But
Yes.
most of those have been shredded to pieces from,
Or covered in blood.
yeah, like they're not really usable. They're just soaked in blood, cut to bits, just fucked.
I guess that will do us then for today.
Anything else
That's
you'd like to
really-
try and do, or wanna rest the night?
Carrick,
Uh,
what's the weather like out there?
Not great. Seems to be a storm brewing, so leaving today, probably not a good idea. We should probably wait till it passes, and hopefully tomorrow will fare better.
Was the storm
Give me a
actually
survival.
hit?
Give me a survival
survive-
check, Macaulay. Just
A plain one.
do an advantaged survival check, because you're in the mountains and it's kind of mountainy.
Did we get water, by the way?
Yeah, the
Right.
water skins
Restocked.
are
Full of snow still.
they're pretty much full. I'd say like you filled them up to like 8 days of water after the snow had melted from full.
That's enough.
So we'll stock those.
So, condition
But-
of storm, Andrew, bad, terrible.
You would say, like, it's not the worst storm ever, but it's a pretty bad storm, and it could last more than a couple days.
Oh, then we need to get the hell out of Dodge.
This
We'll
is
not make it down the mountain though.
Oh no. Well, it's gonna
It'll
last a couple
take
of
us
days.
maybe 3 days to get down the mountain. Natalia can't even move, so we'll have to
You-
carry her.
you would be able to tell, like, you're approaching, like, the end of summer. Like, well, you've been at the latter half of summer for a while. Summer's starting to come to a close, and the temperature shift is causing this big storm from all the colder coming in, pushing the warmer up, and now causing the storm. And it's gonna go for quite a while. You might get some thunder and lightning soon. It's gonna be a bad storm.
think
So
we should definitely rest tonight anyway, and we're just gonna have to see what it's like.
It's just decision.
How much wood do we have left
Yeah,
for like
that's
2
my-
days?
Big question.
you have maybe about. Let me roll a wee thing here. You have about 3 days left of wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I'm gonna
including
try-
like broken spears and anything you can scavenge.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna cut the wings. Can I try to cut the wings off this thing?
Oh,
Or
you
can I
would.
say
You
that I've
can
already
just
did that already.
just cut the wings off.
I want to cut the wings off and then use them to sort of cover Talia to like just sort of shield her from the wind
Okay.
and have hopefully maybe improve her situation faster.
Good idea.
It might work. It's definitely better than her just being out in the open in her like bed, like sleeping thing, like sleeping bag. Which I, just
Can
feel like
I-
I should point out neither of you actually have bedrolls or sleeping stuff, so you might want to buy that when you go back to town.
That
Oh god.
would be.
Have we
nice.
have been like
You've been
technically
pretty much sleeping rough this whole time.
does that mean like we technically shouldn't have been getting a good night's sleep at all?
No, you can still get the good night's sleep. It's you just don't get as great a night's sleep, and that's why you're suffering more from the exhaustion up here in the cold because you've got nothing to really keep you warm at night except each
Ah.
other.
Okay.
Spoon me, Carrick. Spoon.
No.
Right. How many rations should we have now? Did you say that
I'm
the-
just
we've
keeping
got-
it as like
when
a
we-
group tally at the minute.
We've got rations and we've got chicken that isn't really chicken, but you know.
So like the entire group as a whole will have food for like 3 or 4 days, and then when that's all gone, then we'll start taking your like inventory food away.
Okay. Well, we've got
Half an egg
The
and a lot of
meat.
chicken.
that we've got, and then we've got the egg that'll do us tomorrow.
Yes.
So maybe like 5 days, but I don't think we have 5 days of wood.
Nope.
No.
3 days of wood.
Right. Suppose we'll just go to sleep.
So this would be finishing the egg before you sleep. Since you ate half of it
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So the egg is now gone. Who's gonna be like taking the watches?
We'll change it up this time. We'll let me and Umbar will do the first one, and then Carrick and
Okay. So
Kieran can do the second one.
do your wee survival to keep the fire going during the night.
With disadvantage, yes.
This is disadvantage until you pass another constitution.
Ooh.
Oh.
We're done by
Trying to take a guess what I rolled?
one.
Yeah. This is so bad. Like, I feel like we're rolling enough 1s and 20s to make up half of our rolls right now.
You've
Certainly
never
feels like
rolled
it.
this many ones ever.
I know. I don't think anyone has rolled this many
I
ones.
just don't understand why it statistically doesn't make sense. Like you never really, there is a 2 there, but you never really see 2s or 3s. that
Jacob
much.
rolled a 2,
Yeah, I know that. I'm saying that.
and then
there's
you
two
rolled a
there,
3 earlier.
But I could barely recall me ever rolling a 2. It's
That's because they've
one.
always got bonuses, so it would look like a 6.
Oh, that's true.
It's almost impossible for you to get a 2 unless you've got no bonus to it. But, the Firewatch doesn't go well. Umar
Can we
has
just,
that the next group light it, if they
Well,
do good
can we-
enough.
is the fire out, or can we just have to use more
It's-
wood to try to keep it going?
Yeah, you could expand another day's worth of wood to pretty much relight the fire and keep it burning. Because you both fucked up. And
Yeah,
pretty much.
do that. We don't have a choice.
Oh, so you went from 3 days wood to now 2 days wood. Or I'll do 2.5 days wood. Just to make it more reasonable. So, Macaulay, you
Yeah.
and Kieran gotta go. No disadvantage on this. Well,
No
disadvantage on
disadvantage,
Kieran.
just a
because
straight up
He's
survival.
tired as fuck.
A
Oh, there's
s-
another one in there.
Why did it? Oh, why did it roll the advantage? Which one's the first, or do you want me?
It's
Do
the
you want me to
16
re-roll?
Well,
was the first, I think.
Disadvantage takes like whatever, like the last one. Well, the lowest one, but since you're just normal, it takes the 16.
Oh,
and
yeah,
ignore the
it's
one.
fine.
Okay.
But Kieran also did well, 13 and 11. So you managed to keep the fire going the rest of the night. And since it's been like a couple nights of warmth now, everybody but Leroy the Mouse and Talia have fully recovered from exhaustion.
Yeah.
Now roll for
No,
Leroy.
Do you want me to roll for Leroy?
Roll an advantage for Leroy.
Roll. Sorry, Andrew. What?
Advantage for Leroy.
Oh, advantage for Leroy. So 2 d20s. 15. That's good.
Okay.
16. even
So-
better.
Leroy has disadvantage on ability checks. He's at level 1. But you know, he's a mouse. He's fine. Talia is starting to look better. She's looking healthier, but still really bad. About you would say halfway to freezing to death instead of 5/6 of the way to freezing to death. So it's better.
Jeez, how many days from death?
Well, and out of like exhaustion, with 1 being it starting and 6 being dead, she started on 5. She's now on 3.
Yeah, she's getting there, but
So is there anything specific you want to do this day?
could I? Can I go outside again and see weather? And I'm not gonna say plan a route because we're like in a valley.
The storm's getting worse. The sky is getting more obscured. You'll need to roll a perception with advantage to really try and see through the storm.
Even like advantage one's not that good.
In the saddle of the mountains on the opposite side where you came up, you really can't see any route down. There's fog, there's heavy snowfall. The mountain itself is just a white sheet of snow. You cannot make out anything that would really help you. So is there anything you want to do this day, or just take off the wood, the food, and move on to the next day?
Don't think so.
Because we'll keep you eat water, because you'd be able to fill your water skins up to like 8 days worth with the snow and then melt it.
Yeah, let's
Sleep tonight.
we'll just sleep the night, keep going.
Okay. So, going through the night, just both of you just roll a survival check, and I'll roll the survivals for the other two, and we'll just combine them all together at this point. Just see how it goes in general through the night.
Mother of God.
It's not going well.
Didn't get a good roll to save my life. Except those double 20s I got. That was good.
Makes no
Yes,
sense.
that was
but yeah.
was good. So,
Double 17s.
collectively as a group, you manage to keep the fire burning the rest of the night, while some rest and others keep it stocked. As the morning comes, you now have a day and a half's worth of wood and 3 days of food from the bird.
I suppose we'll just go out again and do another analysis of. That's literally it. That's the only
I'll
thing I
come
can't
out
really.
too, just to get some fresh air.
Both of you make some perception checks,
Can I roll advantage because I'm in mountains?
even though it's extremely covered.
Yes.
So,
Jesus, Jacob. 3-2.
well,
Don't judge me.
the
Stop.
weather is pretty much the same as the day before. Heavy snow. The snow like is starting to rise up around the entrance to this little cave you're in.
Oh no.
You've got like maybe 3
We're
feet
gonna
of
die.
You've
We
maybe
may
got
have
like
left this too long.
like when you step out, you've maybe got 3 foot of snow
Oh, you're
collected
joking.
collected around the edge.
Am I
Like,
the only one not hindered by this, or am I?
Well,
well,
think you are fucking Legolas?
in normal mountains you aren't, but in severely
snow.
snow-covered mountains, your bonus is nowhere near as good.
No.
What is Talia looking like now? Can she like?
She's looking a bit better again.
Can she talk and stuff now?
She's not speaking, but like you can't tell if she either can't or just doesn't want to.
Shit.
She got brain damage.
So,
Some
is there anything you're gonna try and do this day or move on to the next?
other Talia in her sleep.
Brutal.
No. Fuck. Carrick, we're gonna have to consider run out of wood. Storm's getting worse.
We
Run out
have
of food. Like,
We
it's
can
gonna
wait
take us probably 3 days to get to the bottom of the mountain.
if not 4 with the snow. Could be more.
Yeah. Also, like, even if we get to the bottom of the mountain, like, where the fuck are we gonna go? The closest thing is the tin mine, and it's not like we can go back there anytime soon.
Well, there are no witnesses now, but yes, respect your point.
You do remember you were saw being dragged away by pretty much the entire village. You're gonna
Yes.
question how you survived and everybody died. But all the people with actual proof are dead.
Good question, but I'll just say we're ambushed by a deer-headed eagle. You would not believe it. Literally
Well, I
killed,
suppose
killed them all except
not,
us. We
you know,
escaped.
that's our, you know, biggest issue right now, but I suppose you could wait outside the town, I could go in, get supplies, and then bring them out. Just say,
Could do
I'll
that.
just say that I haven't seen you.
We'll hide.
Uh,
So we
issue
can.
being, how the
Yep.
fuck are we gonna get off this mountain?
I'm assuming, Andrew, the easiest way down is this way. The way
Well-
we came.
See that peak where the red dot is?
Yes.
You are. So there's that, like. I'll move the red dot. So there's this peak. Fuck. So there's this peak here where my arrow is starting. That's the bit you're on, but you're on the far side of that to the tin mine.
Yeah, so we
Whose is that 01 coming up? Oh, yeah, it's gone. So you're on this side of the peak.
Here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this side of it. So you need
Yeah.
to take half. Well, in the
We're kind of like
conditions,
in this wee,
Yeah, in
Yeah.
that wee spot. Yeah, I know we're in this wee valley here.
yeah, but we're
So-
on. We would need to climb up, and then climb back down.
if you wanted to take the
if
same
we
route
wanted to
back
take the same route.
in heavy
Um,
snow,
Maybe,
69. What over rough terrain? Is that possible?
Carrick,
I don't know.
saying that we've got
it's hard to
nothing
tell.
better.
The snow cover is covering literally the entire mountainside that you can see, and it's
Saying
foggy.
we've got
so-
nothing better to do. Maybe we should go out, have a look around for sort of half an hour at a time throughout the day, and see if we can find a clear way down.
That's probably a good idea.
So are you gonna do that today and try and kind of scout
Yeah.
outside. Are you going together or one at a time?
We'll go together.
Okay. So, is there a specific way you want to go? Like down the mountain, try and go around it,
Probably
or over it?
down this way.
Okay, so you'll need to make acrobatic saves,
Oh Jesus.
but you can't see where you're stepping, so there would be a disadvantage. So,
Oh my God.
that was lucky. So you can turn back now since you haven't rolled yet. Like you step out and you see this snow goes up like well
Oh, I'm
above
going for it, like-
your knee. This is up near your fucking hip. Like this is snow you've never experienced before.
Carrick, maybe we should tie rope
Do
to
we
each
have-
other.
Do we
In
have
case
rope?
one of us takes a slip.
You still
I'm
have
literally
30
going
foot
on an
of
Arctic expedition, right? Yeah, let's do that.
So you're gonna
Are
like
we-
tie the rope between like each other's waist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will just work off Carrick's rolls and follow his footsteps.
You'll still need to make your rolls because you could still step on a sharp pointy rock just to the side of where he stepped. Okay.
Ooh,
Damn, you rolled
respectable.
a 20 and a 14. So you managed to make your way a good distance from the cave, and the weather is absolutely horrible. You don't get very far down the cliff, but now that you're further away from the cave, make some perceptions to maybe spot a route you could possibly
Where-
Disadvantage or just normal?
just a normal perception. Mackay's is advantaged because you're still in the mountains.
Me?
Even though they're covered in snow, like looking around, you can still like see.
Oh my god.
So
Thank God those elven eyes.
it's not really the elven eyes, it's just like his knowledge of mountains. At some point in your life, you probably hiked a lot.
So yes, the geography of the mountains and the cliff size means that there should be a path somewhere in here.
Yeah, like pretty much what you can determine is if you keep going down the way you're going into the saddle of the mountains, like the taller one and the one you're on,
Yeah. We're like,
for at least a bit, you should be able to have an easier path going down. But like you can see it down below you where like the two mountains start to meet. And that's
Yeah.
probably the safest path you could go down, but it's still very steep, closer to the bottom, but it gets obscured by fog before you can really see the bottom.
well, we'll just have to hope we get out of the worst of it. I think.
Right. We should head back to the cave, tell the others what we found. It's gonna take. Does it look like it would take us like more than 2 days to get down?
Oh yeah, it took you like 3.5
4
days to
Three
get
and a
to
half days,
where
didn't have it.
the cave is.
Oh, I know that, but I mean, so it takes longer climbing up than going down.
But now
Look, I'll have to
climbing
stand
down
there.
when you can't see when you're stepping. You could try and get down in 2 days, but that's even more dangerous.
Just bobsled
are-
down.
You could try that.
Oh my God.
Though,
Everyone get on the wing. 3, 2, 1.
the thickness of the
Feel the
snow.
rhythm. Feel the right. Get it. Just get
So- Yeah.
get on Kieran there to come out here with a shield and fucking slide
Oh,
down
no.
this.
No. He did.
My name's Kieran, and welcome to Jack.
You could roll persuasion
Right.
if you wanted to try it.
No, because if he lives, I'd be really annoyed because then I'll be like bitches at the bottom and I'm not.
There'd be no way for you to know if he actually made it to the bottom if he went that far.
Here's
Just get
the
to the bottom of the mountain. Look, there's Kieran, and it's just 2 legs sticking out of the
Oh,
snow.
hang on. Here's the damage that he takes. Hold on. at terminal velocity going down the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, he'd be dead if he fucked up and rolled down. But so you've gone out, scouted that the probably safest route is going down between the saddles of the mountains, and you've got back to the cave. But what do you want to do? Like, stay another night? Uh, leave now?
What time of day is it?
No, what time of day do you want it to be? Because, like, it
Like,
doesn't
we're
really
just gonna
matter.
end up staying another night. By the looks of it. If Talia doesn't improve and she doesn't want to come tomorrow, tough shit, we're going.
Because you only have a day and a half of wood and 3 days of bird meat.
Good chance making it to the hideout in about 4 days, maybe. Might just make it.
So what do you want to do? Stay a night or leave now?
I'll say stay a night. It's up to what is see what Barrack's call is. If Talia improves.
He's the group leader.
Uh,
Oh,
I will decide in the morning.
Oh,
Or we'll stay the night.
okay. So just do like a group communal fire check.
Constitution!
Survival. This is
Oh.
for the fire. To see if
Forgot.
like you don't have much wood left, so
Even not much better. Oh hey, I rolled a natural too.
oh you did actually, yes.
Like once ever.
What do I need to roll?
Just,
Survival.
survival.
Just survival.
Yeah.
Just normal. Yeah.
Yeah, just a
Yeah,
normal
it's
survival.
easy normal in it, yeah.
So
The other two-
communally the fire it doesn't go out, but by the morning you have
It's
about
done.
quarter of a day's worth of wood left. So pretty much like half, like maybe to like 12 o'clock is like midday is all the wood you'd have to keep burning. With 2 days of
Weather
bird
weather
meat.
check.
Oh,
in the morning.
it's. Let me see if it actually gets worse or not. Oh. So during the night, as you're keeping the fire up, the thunder starts to crack through the sky, echoing through the cave. Your night's sleep isn't great, but it's enough.
Okay.
The snowfall is heavier. The fog is creeping higher up the mountain, so you see even less. It's not looking good out there. Not looking good at all.
I don't think we have much choice, Barry. Can't stay here much longer.
What's Talia looking like?
Talia looks in a better condition than when you first got to the cave entrance. Like, she's battered and bruised and worn down, but in terms of like being frozen, she's better off than when you first got here.
Can she move?
She probably could if she wanted to. You could try and make an insight check on her if you want to try and see what's going on in her head.
I will do this. Oh,
You're just like,
clearly I cannot read minds.
you're just like, women, and that's their reaction.
That's accurate.
God. I'm gonna try to. Can I see if I could get Talia to her feet?
I want to talk to her as well.
Do you try and like
Might be able to talk.
convince her to get up, or like just manhandle her and lift her up?
I'm gonna
We
like
might have to make a stretcher here. like.
convince her, but like try to get her up.
Oh,
Lift
like,
her up and see if she'll walk.
well, would you say anything? Try and Get her up.
like, Talia, we need to get you moving. Need to get those bones and muscles working again.
She just turns away and mutters quietly, just tell me when we're gonna leave.
Okay, so she's.
And that's all she says.
So the storm has worsened.
Worsened. Quite a bit. Like,
Wait.
there is. You know where there's the thing of you see the lightning flash, and then you wait and count how long the thunder takes to come? You don't have to do that. It's just lightning flash, thunder straight away. The storm, the thunder itself is straight over top of you. You can, like, if you look out, you can see it, like, arcing across the sky. Like, you can see a lot of the lightning coming down and striking the top of the peak across from you. There's also a couple extremely loud booms that must be it striking the peak above your heads. You're pretty much in the center of a giant storm. And it is
Nice.
not looking good for you.
How much food and how much?
Wood-wise,
You're-
what are we, a quarter?
Your wood will last until about 12 o'clock. But it's hard to tell the time of day. And you've got 2 days of the bird meat left.
Right,
For me, it's now or never.
we go now. Talia, get on
Oh,
your
wait.
feet.
Andrew, one thing I have forgot to mention.
Yeah?
I wasn't able to scavenge any arrows in here, was I? At any point? No?
You would have been able to collect up most of your arrows, and
Forgot about. Because I've just looked at my quiver and I've got one.
Oh, mate, did you want them back?
Or no
right.
arrows, I've got 10. I got 10 arrows.
I would say you got an extra 5 from
Yay!
whoever was wielding the longbow. They had some arrows still on them that they hadn't shot when they died.
Okay, I have nothing more that I can think of to do. We've got a bit of food, we've got plenty of water. I am ready to go. We'll gladly leave again.
So
Yeah,
you assemble the party and start to
Talia,
try
just
your...
stand up.
She kind of shakily pulls herself up with one of the stalactites, getting one of the broken spears and using it as a walking stick.
yeah, I was gonna say, could we divide up the hop tiles and like use them as walking sticks? If we need to do that in snow, because that's what you do in, you know, northern expert that. That's what you do for skiing anyway.
I think
that
probably
boat?
Kieran could probably just use his spear.
Yeah, he's using his spear.
I'm sure there's like a couple of sticks left saying that we're not gonna feed the
Oh,
fire
could
with the
be.
rest of it, so I'm sure you can
You're gonna
probably
get some of the bigger sticks and try and
some
use
of the
them
bigger
as...
sticks.
Okay.
Probably
Try
just
using
use
them
it
as
to like as a
stability, really.
stability and a bit of a tester maybe of what you're gonna put your foot on.
Okay. That would help a bit. So the group's gonna start trying to make their descent into the saddle of the ponies
Yes,
first.
we are. We are out of
Yep.
time.
Have you got the head with you, by the way?
Oh yeah, the head.
Yeah, it's
Andrew
in your
had.
inventory.
Oh my goodness, I'm at 118. That's shut
You're
up.
both very heavy.
Holy shit, how are you
69,
that
it was-
heavy?
It was
Because he
60.
took like chainmail and that and the egg.
Oh, but I've got chainmail on my and the egg and the
You're
head.
also like you're like 109.
doubled my
Macaulay's
carry
got
weight and,
other
like-
shit as well in there somewhere.
What kind of fucking sword is it?
Let's see.
How am I? What is the? I feel like I should be happier than I am.
Oh, I'm dead ass very heavy.
You are very happy.
We're gonna have to get rid of some of this shit when we get back.
Is Macaulay's armor that he's wearing got weight?
No.
My god. Right, we should all probably tie the rope around each other too.
No, you only have a 50 foot of rope and then a 10 foot of rope. So you
Oh,
want to tie everyone within the 60 foot.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
Okay.
to, I suppose.
So you can get
that's a lot. Like, I mean, if we're not really-
everybody's roughly about 10 foot apart.
Yeah.
Tying it off like evenly
It's about 3.5
as
meters.
best you
roughly.
can.
Alright.
So you're gonna start the descent.
Yeah. Okay. You should lead.
Yes.
You know the mountains better than we do. I'm assuming now we're carrying this all the money as well, Andrew. We're
Yeah,
just having divided
Just
it.
just split up by weight for who can carry the money. Probably the other people are carrying the money because the money does have weight. That's quite a lot of weight.
Yeah. I'm sure 900 copper probably isn't light.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna do the rolls for getting down the mountain as a group roll since you're all tied together.
Ooh.
So if one person rolls bad and the other people roll better,
But-
then you kind
Yeah,
of catch
balances
them.
out.
But if more people roll bad than roll good, the whole group
Ooh.
goes.
Oh dear.
So if, say, two people rolled ones, two people
people-
rolled like 12, and one person rolled a 19, the whole group's going down.
Oh god.
Your sticks make the number you need to hit to do well slightly lower.
I really regret that Talia onto the group now.
I
So,
mean, I'm definitely not thinking about if we had just left her. I could have had that bow.
well, you have a
you have
bow
a
now.
bow.
I know, but 2 bows.
One in each hand.
One at a
Oh,
time.
wielding.
But it's time for the group to start rolling disadvantaged acrobatics checks to get down.
Oh,
keep your
this is
balance.
gonna go off to a good
Okay.
start, ladies and gentlemen. 2 ones in a row. That's how we do it.
Wait a minute, is this disadvantage or advantage?
Disadvantage, because you can't see where you're stepping.
Oh,
Your stick makes it slightly easier because you can kind of feel it out, but you don't really know exactly what you're putting it down onto.
Macaulay, why you gotta fuck me so early?
I'm sorry, sunshine, but
Oh, that was not good.
suppose we just
Okay,
read
so
it wasn't too bad.
as the group is starting to descend the mountain as safely as you can, poking forward with your sticks,
I lead them into literally a cliff edge, and we all fall off and die.
so what happens is Carrick takes a sudden drop into the snow as you step, like you put your stick forward, you're like, yes, it's pretty firm, take a step, and then you just drop. There's nothing
Yay.
under your feet. Behind you, well, like, as the group goes back a bit, who would you say is behind Carrick? Actually, what's the order? So Carrick's in the front. Who's behind him?
I would say,
Yeah, probably.
Probably you. Mel.
No, I'll go in
No.
the back. So I can sort of have vision of everyone. Probably put Umbar, then Talia, and then
Kieran, isn't it?
Kieran.
Kieran.
Okay, so Carrick just drops into the snow. Clearly, there's nothing under your feet.
Help me.
Umar goes with him, pulled by his weight. It's like the
Oh
rope.
god.
The rope wouldn't be just fully tight between everyone, so it tightens, pulls Umar in. Talia slips to the edge of where you fell. It's teetering on the edge. Kieran is barely keeping her up with the help of Varric.
Oh. Get
So-
us off.
So, pretty much at this point, like, Kieran, like, he's fallen down onto his ass, feet braced into the rocks as best he can, legs straining to try and hold the weight of 3 people. if he rolled any lower, Talia would probably be off the cliff as well.
And then it's a 3v2
Oh my
and we all go down.
Is
Or-
it actually? Is it like an actual cliff? Like, is it?
It's hard to tell. You just see Carrick drop into the snow. Like he just goes under, and pulls Umbar under the snow with him. Whatever solid surface you were walking on, he has stepped off of.
Well, there has to, with the logic, like
It
there
could be
has
just
to
a
be
big
something
hole.
there that like
Be just
the
a big
snow.
hole.
Like,
This
the
is
snow
only a
can't
couple. This is only a couple seconds, so he could just be stepping onto a 10-foot deep part of snow and not realize it yet.
Right,
Kieran doesn't know what's
yeah.
going on. Neither do you. He could have stepped off a cliff that he didn't see, and like the snow is like hanging off the edge, and now he's just fucking dropped through it. There's no way to tell just yet.
Oh, fuck. Well, what do we do here in this? Carrick!
What?
What's happening down there?
Andrew, what's happening?
Are you poking around with your stick?
Well, am I floating in midair or?
No, you've
Am I-
dropped into the snow. You're like almost fully covered in snow right now. There's just the hole above you fell through.
Oh,
And you can feel like the tightness of the rope around your waist, like as you're dangling there.
I suppose I could poke around a bit, but
Poke around.
yeah, I don't know how that helps. But
What directions do you poke? Every direction?
pretty much every.
Okay, so doing your best to poke around through the snow, which is very awkward with your stick. You do poke down, and poking down, you do feel like at the very end of your stick, you like straight down, there's nothing. But if you start wiggling it back the direction you came, you do hit off a rock. So there has
So
been
it's a cliff edge.
there has been no like, you would say it's kind of like a slope, but it's a good maybe 5 to
just-
6 feet or more below you. There was like
Yeah.
there's like a hole or a dip, or just a drop off, like where the kobolds were, like the lizard
Mm,
guys. The
yeah.
archers came up. There was like a little cliff bit,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
there's
yeah.
like a flat, like a slope, a cliff, and then a slope above that. Something like that is what you would guess.
Definitely not. This
So
way,
it
then.
probably wouldn't have killed you if you dropped down, but you might have just kept tumbling and got buried in the snow.
Yeah, that's always good crack. Get me out of here!
Can you get to the side?
Andrew, can I?
How
No.
do you want to get to the side?
I would try and dig at it with my sword or my stick.
Just whacking at the snow?
Yeah, I don't really know what else I can do.
While you're like trying to do that, Kieran is starting to do his best to pull on the rope to like not let everyone fall. Talia does recover from like almost hanging off the edge to she's copied Kieran. She's like sat down and is bracing herself. You might be able to pull them up if the collective group effort is good enough.
Well, I just roll strength.
Do that as athletics because it's probably slightly better than your strength.
Is that disadvantage?
No, just normal athletics. Okay, so collectively, the group all pulls their own weight in the effort and manages to slowly haul Umar and Kieran off this drop that they fell into, back onto the solid ground again.
Well done, guys.
This is going to be a treacherous path. Not being able to see where you're walking
Can't see
is
shit.
is deadly.
It will not be the last, but we must keep moving.
Group gonna keep going.
change
Yep.
direction and keep her lit. Well, avoid what we just did and keep her lit.
You'll have one more disadvantaged acrobatics check, and then we'll see how far you've traveled.
One more as a collective group.
Like, full group one. Like, everybody's dependent on everyone else here. Okay.
Oh, thank
Oh.
God.
Oh, that was real good. That will save us from the definite one that one of our teammates will get.
I rolled 2 ones.
Okay, so
Ripping.
out of everyone in the group, the one that struggled the most was Beric. You actually stubbed your
Holy
toe,
shit.
stumbled a bit, but you didn't need the rope to catch yourself.
Damn,
Everyone-
that was a high roll.
We got a 10, an 11, a 14, and then Macaulay 17.
How the hell did we do that well?
So everybody's helping each other stay on their feet as best they can. With this biting wind, like, just cutting straight through your clothes, straight to the bone. The crack of thunder above you, the falling of the snow. This is a very bad situation to be in. But you have made a full day's travel as best you can make down the side of the mountain. And
And this is where it gets difficult.
and looking around, you have made it into the saddle between the mountains.
Yeah.
But
Are we not in the saddle to begin with?
like you've gotten to like the bottom of the saddle, like where
Yeah.
the mountain's
right,
actually.
Yeah.
Like here, and we've done.
Okay,
Those-
2 miles.
You can't use the
Whoa.
range thing for like
Yeah.
measuring the
So
mountain because it's just like an artist's depiction. But you're like in between the mountains now. This is the flattest part of the mountain you could probably be on.
Right. Can we look around to see if there's any sort of somewhat sheltered area?
Do some perception.
Can we do that just as a group?
Yeah,
Do I get
Just-
advantage? No.
you would, but it's still very hard. Okay. So,
Doesn't matter.
looking around, there is no natural shelter you could use down here.
Aw, wait.
But-
Build a fucking igloo.
But with your like knowledge of the mountains, like you know, snow is a problem there is to be had, and the best way to probably get shelter when there's no natural shelter is to dig yourselves like a snow cave.
Dig a snow cave.
Find some deep snow, dig a little cave into the snow, and that's your best way of keeping out the cold because
We're
snow
literally
is
gonna be-
insulating.
We're literally gonna be
Fucking
polar bears.
Eskimos.
Polar bears.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
assuming we have to roll survival to see how spectacular.
I think
It'll be a group roll of survival to try and carve out a little snow cave big enough for pretty much everybody to fit into. Oh. Okay. So, everybody did well except Talia, whose hands are still frozen really bad.
Probably still got the bow in it. She can't get it out yet.
No,
like-
she's been able to like let go of the bow, but
Uh.
like she pretty much has frostbite like at this point.
nice.
So she can't really dig. She's kind of smashing into the snow with her hands, not really helping. Collapses part of the wall now and again, but everybody else is able to patch it up, make a pretty good shelter to stay in. So, gonna sleep the night.
Yep.
Sweet.
Try our best.
Okay. Make your constitution saves against the cold.
Oh!
This is where things get ugly. This is where things. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh triple fuck. Macaulay do Leroy as well.
No, Leroy. Leroy would probably do better than me. You fuck.
So
He's just using your body warp.
Leroy he is fine. Beric is fine, but everyone else gets hit with a level of exhaustion. That means
Everyone travels slower.
no, Carrick, Kieran, and Umar all have disadvantage on their ability checks. Talia has disadvantage on her ability checks, and now her speed is halved. Because she's at level 2. Everyone else is at level 1.
I was rather hoping not to. God damn it, Tyler, why couldn't you pass? Give us one more day. One more.
So, the group of weeks, checking your food stocks. There's 1 day left of the bird's meat.
Okay.
Push on
How
the
many
frig.
rations does everyone like have?
You yourself have 2.
I have 2. Just
Everybody
Carrick
else would have 2,
3.
but Carrick is 3 because he ate meat like the first time and everyone else took their
Oh, yeah.
rations.
I was the taste tester. Needless to say, it was pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, it's not the best food.
okay, right. Well, suppose we better get moving.
Push on. Sleep when you're dead.
Yeah, so you retie up the rope and start trying to move down.
Yeah.
So, in the morning, you have to dig through a couple feet of snow to get back out to the top, as new snowfall has covered the entrance. Completely covered the tracks you took down the mountain. And the weather, the storm, like the lightning part of the storm itself, seems to be dying down, but the rest of the storm is still just as bad as it was.
Lovely.
So, make your group acrobatics, but it's already at disadvantage, so it can't get any worse.
So do we roll disadvantage or not?
Well, you have disadvantage, and now you're getting disadvantage again, but you can only have it once, so it can't give you it any worse.
I'm away.
Fuck.
I'm actually away. Frig rolled 20. Like, you know,
Oh
I
my
think that's
God.
the 5th one I have rolled tonight.
Oh, I've rolled more than that in ones so far.
But you're doing it for like a group. This is me. Just one man has rolled like 5 ones. Like,
Oh, Talia did good. Oh, okay. So,
I'm gonna fall down another cliff edge.
well, as you're beginning the descent, you trip, but
And do a barrel roll.
Umar behind you yanks on the rope and pulls you back to your feet. Everybody else rolled above a 12 in the group,
Aye.
except you. So,
God damn it.
travel is pretty smooth for the start, but for the last half of the day, we'll need 1 more acrobatics. As you start to notice the slope starts to get steeper
Oh no.
going down.
Acrobatics.
Oh. Oh, fuck. Okay, so we have 1 more member of the group to do their acrobatics. This could be the deciding factor.
Disadvantage or just normal?
Still
Oh,
disadvantage.
Deadass disadvantage, lad.
Oh.
Oh my
So-
god.
There was a good spread there. And so as you're traveling along, testing the snow as best you can, Talia just straight up collapses into the snow. She hits something under the snow and just face plants straight down into it.
Oh, lovely.
The rest of the group isn't directly affected, like you're not pulled or anything, because you've all rolled well enough to hold your ground and
Well, we're
maintain
kinda
her
on
weight.
there's like 2 of us on each side of her, so
Yeah, so she's just like face planted down. It's kind of like hanging by her waist down the mountain. And it roll. Well, you can tell that she's not trying to get back up. It looks as though she might have just passed out from sheer exhaustion.
Shit. Nice.
So now you have dead weight on the line.
I will try to hold back, but Kieran, go forward and see if she's okay.
Kieran shimmies his way across as best he can. You see him starting to slide down a bit, but barely managed to catch himself. But doing so loses his stick, which you can see just goes spinning down the mountain and peeling itself far down beyond view in the snowfall. But he does manage, that'll make his checks harder to succeed though.
You can just take Tally's stick.
Yeah, he could. So he gets to Talia and just shouts up, "She's out cold.
Oh,
I
great.
think she might have hypothermia. Like, this is bad. This is very bad." He is starting to panic, doesn't know what to do now that someone's unconscious, just hanging on the rope.
How long to the bottom?
Everyone can try roll perception.
Here we go. Disadvantage, I'm assuming.
No, you've got advantage because you're still in the mountains. Everybody else would have a normal. So we already have a crit. We have a near crit.
Can't really take that crit as my roll because I don't know which one was first.
Yeah, well we'll just take the crit because Mackay also rolled a 20. But
okay.
So you can both see, like, as everyone's like shouting back and forth of what they could see, you've lowered down enough down the mountain that you're in the thick layer of fog and cloud that you could see from near the top, and it's almost impossible to see further down. You can't see very far, but there, just every now and again you see a bit of of the fog clear as you're glancing down, and it looks like it might take one more day to reach the bottom if you could keep a good pace.
And how close is it? Like, what's happened, how long has...
You're currently on your second day, and you would need to rest at this point.
But I mean, is this like the end of the day that
This would be like the end of the day. So you would need to find somewhere to try and shelter. But with your perception, you do see that off away to your side, barely covered by the fog, is a slight overhang of rock you could try and take shelter in.
Kayak, what would be better? Under the rocks or build another snow shelter?
You wouldn't need to ask him, because at this point, you're going down this slope, so building this snow shelter would be almost impossible.
Oh, well.
Yeah, like,
okay.
in the saddle, the snow was able to form deeper, but here, like, when it gets too deep, it just starts pouring down the side. Yeah.
Underneath the cover then, and we'll just have to decide what we do in the morning.
Indeed. Now everyone needs their constitution save for sleeping the night.
Yeah.
Just a normal straight up.
Was Tally able to eat her food and drink her water? Or
She
did
is
she do that in
not.
the morning?
Well, she would have took a bit in the morning and a bit like at night, but she's like had half of her food.
So she hasn't gained consciousness yet?
No.
I do not have to roll disadvantage on my
Just a
concentration.
normal one.
Oh, for second day in a row.
Ooh.
Like, my movement is now
Fuck.
also hindered.
So everybody in the group, apart from Leroy McCoy, Leroy's part of the group too.
Oh shit, Leroy. D20.
He's gonna get like a crit or something. Natural
He
20.
will, he'll do better than me. Oh, he didn't.
Oh, so
Oh,
Leroy's hit by his first. Well, he had one when you were. No, he was fine. Well, he's not as bad as you, but he's suffering. So
because you're
currently,
suffering.
everyone in the group, apart from Umar, have been put to level 2 with their speed halved. And
Have I?
oh, you passed your first one, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you and Umar are at the disadvantage one. So the first one.
Yeah.
Talia, however, has she definitely failed. And since she can't eat, she takes another half level. So she's getting really bad.
What
Really
level are we
bad.
talking here? 4.5?
So she's at 3.5.
Okay.
So halfway to death. Well, over halfway to death.
Is she awake right now?
In the morning,
Yeah.
she's not really. Like she's kind of like the way you'd see people that are kind of struggling in their sleep, like they're in a nightmare, but they can't
Yeah.
wake up. That's what she's like right now.
Okay. Guys, we need to talk. What do we do?
How far are we out a day?
From what you can see.
Possibly. We could be a day down the mountain and then a day to the nearest bit of civilization where we can get help.
Oh yeah, at this point, when you've woke up and had your like little snack, there's no more bird meat. You'll be down to normal rations. So it's not much.
If we bring her, well, don't want to say it, but I think Tally was ready to die in that cave up there. And if we bring her with us and try to carry her down the mountain, we'll all die here. So, but it's not just my decision. So we're gonna have to vote. Do we leave Talia behind, or do we work together and try to get her down off the mountain?
Roll a persuasion for your argument against the other two.
What do you mean?
Like you need to roll a persuasion against like the other two to see are you convincing enough to convince them to agree with you,
The
or
crit.
Well, I'm not really. I'm not. I haven't voted yet.
no, but like with your thing of like if we
It's just your
if we
thought
try and carry
process,
her
like,
down, like we're all gonna die. So
yes.
are they gonna agree with that, or are they not?
Oh.
Like how convincing
yeah,
were you
right,
when you
it's-
said it? Were you like
see, if you-
shivering, or you do have a disadvantage because of the exhaustion, which would be you like
okay.
shivering, like barely able to talk, but they would also have disadvantage against like trying
What
to
do I
counter
have to
persuasion.
throw?
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, do you want to say anything, Mackay, before votes are cast?
No, I'll just sit here thinking to myself, no, not. I just don't know because I'm 50-50.
Oh. So, shall we cast votes?
Who wants
Uh,
to go first?
Well, what we'll do is type in the chat, like the Roll20 chat, but don't enter it, what your choice is.
Oh, you bastard, Andrew.
So nobody knows. And then when I say go, everybody.
Why don't you just say who's the choice is? Because it could
'Cause of
still
s-
be debated.
Well, it's
We're
like
from
everybody
this
says
way.
at the same time, but like Macaulay might hear you say something first and then change his mind, or then hear what I'm saying the two recruits say and change his mind. So this is like everybody says it at the exact same point. That's what their thoughts are, and then you can debate it after that. To make sure nobody's being influenced by what the others are saying. So have you made your choice of what you would say?
Yeah.
Okay. Is everyone ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh! Uh-oh.
I really thought Jacob was gonna say leave too.
Oh.
Oh well.
Oh. So this is like everyone just counting it down, and then just you just hear 3 leaves, and then 1 bringer with us. And now glances are exchanged in the group. Who's gonna speak first?
Look, I'm not proud of it. But gentlemen, we've been through hell to get up and down this bitch, and I for one want to live. Talia, she didn't have that motivation the last 5 days we were in that cave. Yes, her spirit was broken, but
You hear a Umar chime in of we don't have the strength. All 4 of us were already weak. It was hard enough with Talia being able to try and pull her own weight. But now, we don't know how long it'll take to get back to actual civilization, or what setbacks we could encounter along the way, and we don't have the strength to carry her with us.
we're running low on food, gentlemen, as well. What are we down to 2 days rations each?
What if we get snowed in? What if there's no way down?
Yeah,
We're stuck
exactly.
up here.
Exactly.
And it's all because we weren't fast enough.
What if that was you lying there?
I'd want you to leave me behind.
Oh shit!
Kieran, however, is like, I wouldn't want to be left. I can't do this.
God damn you. God damn you.
I can't go
Kieran,
through with it.
You coward.
And he switches side.
Oh, so it's 50-50.
Their character traits, ideals and stuff starting to come into play.
Oh.
You can now see the kind of people your 2 recruits are. Umar, who has the strong, if my life is what needs to be done, like giving my life is what needs to be done, then giving my life is what needs to be done. Kieran of the more reasonable route of I don't want to fucking die, so you've kind of swayed him. Your initial argument of like Talia possibly potentially getting you all killed if you try and bring her down, and like her giving up on life, had swayed him to say leave. But now, seeing that you've changed sides and realizing with what you said that if it was him, he is now decided to split the vote half and half. Then the debate continue.
Say it is a day. How much food do we have left?
Whatever's your rations.
Everyone has 2 days except me.
We have enough for 2 days food. It's probably going to be at least, at the minimum, another day at the bottom. And probably another day at the tin mine.
You see them kind of glance around a bit. Is it really a good idea to
It's
go
doable.
back?
Okay, well,
Like, what if we
I'm
survive all
mi-
this and we go to the tin mine and
Well, maybe I'm missing. Where do you suggest we go when we get down here?
where can we go?
It's like
Can't
the
go direct to
hideout,
the
I
hideout.
suppose. But
No.
that's gonna take us another 3 days when we get down to the bottom. We're gonna run out of food by then. If the storm is just as bad as it is up here, we have the problem to fucking freeze to death as well down there, just as much as up here.
The whole group is just in silence. The weight of this decision
Alright.
weighing heavily on everyone.
Assuming that we assuming if we would carry her, how are we gonna do it?
You can't be hanging on a rope.
A
This is
limb
gonna
each?
put more strain on everyone else.
A limb
need a
each? We
better
don't have
way.
enough material. Can we make a stretcher up here under? No.
We
can
leave
get-
her.
You'd have to give up your sticks.
We
And
leave
now
her.
there's stunned silence. It's the other two to look at you.
Oh, change mind again, boy.
Fuck.
I wish we could bring her with her, but I can maybe live with one life on my conscience, but I cannot live with 4.
Ooh. Strong word.
Mm. Umar like reaches
She's
over.
unconscious, isn't she?
Well, it seems as though she's like trapped in a nightmare, unable to wake up.
Okay.
But
she's
Umar
alive.
reaches a hand like over to your shoulder. This like rests it there. And just sits a second and then take the rest of the group. Go a few paces down the mountain, and before we leave, I'll make sure she doesn't suffer anymore.
No.
We don't leave her to freeze on the mountain. If we're doing this, we do it now.
I will do
Do it
it.
swiftly.
Oh god.
I'm supposed to be the leader. It is my responsibility.
He gives you a long, hard stare into your eyes to try and kind of
Nah, you
gauge.
Power Dynamic bitch. The sequel.
He's trying to gauge if you really have it in you to do it.
Oh.
So let's see here.
What are
So-
you rolling?
He's just typing.
I'm doing a wee insight to see if he can
okay.
really try and gauge anything. He doesn't do that good, but will you actually do it?
Are you asking me? Will I actually do it?
Yeah, like, would you actually, like, end her suffering quickly before catching up? Before they leave?
Yes.
Okay, so, like, as he's, like, staring into you, like, this deep stare, like, as best as you really can in these dire circumstances, he can see the slight hesitation, but he believes that you will carry it out before you catch
Okay.
up. He just nods, and we leave. So we leave now.
Before we go, you know, you're probably gonna know what I'm gonna ask here.
Oh my god.
Bow wise, whose is better, mine or hers?
They're both longbows, and they both seem the same,
Ah.
and
Alright.
both pretty rough condition. They've went through the same shit.
All right. Wait, what about the money?
So roll a stealth, Mackay, to glance at her pockets stealthily.
This is wrong. Well, I'm role playing, so normal disadvantage.
Just a normal stealth, because like I'll just get everyone to roll it. Okay, so Jacob roll perception, just a normal perception, and so
Will I
will
be
the other two.
countered here?
No disadvantages because everybody here would have disadvantage.
Sorry, I rolled.
It doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter
They're
with
both
either of
close.
them. No one notices your sly look at her pockets. Do you want to try and take what you can?
I hate this. Thief. Well,
If you wanted to try
yeah,
and
I'm
steal
gonna have to.
something, you'll need to roll sleight of hand
Oh my god.
and then try and beat
I'm-
everyone's perception.
I'm sorry, Talia, but needs must. Oh, nope, not happening.
People have the roll really bad perception here.
No, I'm already beat.
So, as your hand shakily slides towards her, Umar just reaches out and fucking slaps it and glares at you. Are you gonna try and say anything in your defense? Like, maybe, like, I don't know, like, think of something to defend yourself before you get accused.
I'm sorry. Don't know what got into me. Don't make her suffer, gentlemen.
Get down
If
the
you want to
mountain
know
out of
what I
my
mean
sight.
by that, Mackay, like, you could have, like, continued on and, like, clasped her hand one last time, kind of thing.
Oh,
So like if you want to
Did
do
not really think
something,
of that.
if you want to do something like that, like that's what I was meaning. Like,
I
like
didn't
if
get
you
that.
get caught doing something, you could do that and try and do deception to make it look like.
I didn't know you could do that.
It's like, do you
That's
want to try and
cool.
deceive them that you weren't trying to steal from our pockets now that
well,
you were caught?
I may as well.
Okay, so you can try.
Nope.
Okay, so no, it was pretty obvious you were going for all the pockets.
Oh well, role playing has its consequences.
So, what did the party do now?
Just get down the mountain.
So you want the rest to take some steps away, and then you will do the deed.
Yep.
Okay, so the others get up, they go down the mountain out of sight, like, well, far enough that you could see them and they can see you, but they'll turn their backs unless Mackay you want to watch.
Why would I want to watch?
It's up to you. You might want to turn around and be sure. I don't know what you want to do.
Stare into the snow cave and go, yes, he's done it. Yes.
Not in a snow cave, but just in a wee cave thing.
It is done. We push on. No, God no.
Okay, so as everyone has looked away down the mountain, how do you want to put her out of her misery?
Can I take a medicine check to?
You can try it, but it
See
will be with
what would be the-
disadvantage. Because your mind
we've
is
made this
clouded
decision.
by
This decision
exhaustion.
now, oh dear.
Okay. I
You
mean,
can, like, the only thing you could really tell is at the rate things have been going,
she's
she
probably not gonna fail it anyway. Does
she
it?
mightn't make it to the bottom of the mountain, let alone to civilization. That's like really all you could tell. And she, like, she's asleep. She's not gonna feel what happens. That's the best you could work at.
Oh dear.
Trying to think what's the best way to probably just cut both of her or no, just into the heart.
Oh.
Okay. Is there any
Yeah,
like
okay.
final words you'd like to say? Maybe a prayer?
No prayers, but I will like hold her hand for like a wee bit for I'm just like sorry I couldn't save.
and then you end it swiftly.
What's that?
So, as you let go of her hand and just plunge the dagger down into her heart, you hear the sigh of the last breath leaving her lips as her head just falls limp to the side, and the blood starts to trickle out and stain the snow beneath her red. I shall now go, and you go to the notable people section, and I'll actually open this on my recording one too, because so go to the notable people.
Yep.
Scroll down to near the bottom,
Yep.
and I don't know if you'll actually be able to see this or not, but might need to read. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
An ally to the party has fallen.
Second ally, technically.
Actually, hold on. There's another bit you can wait.
Killed. Killed by Jacob. Or Barrack.
Trying to think of a better way to put it than that.
Put out of misery by Barrack. Assisted suicide.
It's not really a suicide though, is it? Where? Gentlemen, right. Yeah.
Okay, so how does that look for what was done? Would you say that's a reasonable description? Just so when we look back, we know how and why she died. I think that is good enough.
Yes. Gentlemen, I would have hoped that we would have made it down from the mountain tonight, but that is gonna have to do me.
Oh, leaving it on a cliffhanger after a loss to the party.
It seems like a decent sort of stopping point, but
It is.
Not a decent stopping point.
Well, the deed has been done.
Yeah, but we have to get.
It is
we're
a
day
sad
off
moment.
getting down.
Possibly getting that.
Right, how long realistically can we speed run this for the next 10 minutes?
Oh, is there
Let's see
anything
if we-
like you'd really want to say after regrouping?
No,
Because everybody else, like the recruits, would just move on in silence at this point.
I'd move on in silence. Literally death to the party. It's tragic. Move on.
What does she have in her inventory?
Let me check for you.
You grave robbing bit.
She's wearing leaded armor, has a longbow, has her concealed dagger,
Are you gonna be able to carry any of this?
her quiver. She has 5 arrows left. Her backpack, her bedroll. She was like the only one who actually had a bedroll out of everybody. Because she was smart.
I'll take the bedroll. I'll take. She has 2 rations, doesn't she?
She has 2 rations.
I'll bring my 4.
So you want the bedroll and the rations?
Yeah.
Bedroll.
Set my alarm for the morning.
Okay. Is that all you take? She does have 27 gold.
I'll take the 27 gold as well then.
Oh.
I mean, well, wait a minute though. Right. Is it stealing?
If they're dead, yes. It's called grave robbing.
It's up
a
to you
widely-
to decide if
It
you
is
would
known.
consider this too far for Barrack.
I know what my character would be thinking.
I feel like
The other items, like the rations and the bedroll, that's just pure survival. That wouldn't bother you at all. Like, if you don't take them, you could die, and they might save your life.
True. But I mean, 27 gold is a lot of money just to.
That's why she has 27 gold.
Yeah, but
For
it's
this
like.
test of will.
It's
Oh.
it's a lot of money just to leave here, you know. And I mean, if it gets to the point where we just need to start
Just
dropping
roleplay that.
stuff,
We don't know. I'm not mad at him. Just roleplay what you think your guy would do. I know what mine would do. He would take it.
'Cause
It's
see,
one-way train.
You've got two conflicting views for this on your character sheet, so either one you pick
I'm
is right.
I'm gonna take it purely down to the point as I don't see it as stealing from someone from the party because that person's dead.
Yeah. And you've got the when I
So,
see something valuable, I can't think about anything but how to steal it.
Yeah.
So
it's not stealing. No,
yeah, well, it's just taking at this point.
Yeah.
It's benefiting your survival by you can buy
It's
better
like
gear
it's
when you
like
get them.
technically, if technically we stole them scrolls and stuff, then like I mean,
You didn't know them though.
Well, we didn't know
yeah,
them.
I know that, but I mean, like for example, like Tally would want me to have it. Yeah.
We don't know her that well, but
Make an insight check
oh no.
to see.
Right, gentlemen, come on, keep pace here, because I really want to get off here soon.
Just normal inside.
Yeah, just roll an insight to see. Yeah, you didn't know her well enough to really tell. But everyone will need to
But fine.
make their disadvantaged acrobatics to try and make their way down.
Not great, not terrible.
Depends on the other two did.
So
you get them higher than us.
the morale of the group is lowered, and everyone is heavily affected by this loss, especially in such a way. And your progress is slowed as you kind of start slipping as the snow's almost in like an avalanche, but it's like a mini avalanche, pushing you down further, but you get stuck for a bit, and you take more time digging yourselves back out of that small avalanche of snow than you gained by sliding down the mountain with it.
Okay.
You will need to make one more for the end of the day. If you all roll extremely well, still with disadvantage, Kai.
Oh dear.
For fuck's sake. But if you all rolled really well, like that,
There's a really high one there.
Then-
That counters me a bit.
okay, so
Seriously, that's sixth one. Sixth one that I had.
at this point,
Indeed.
the only one who roll well is Beric. And the bottom of this peak, like this mountain, is close, but you would need to walk through the darkness to get there this day. Because everyone was slowed down on both those rolls, except Beric. So Carrick did like face plant into the snow.
Has
At one
this? Is there still snow where we are, or is it starting
There's
to light?
still snow. It's not as deep, but it's still treacherous to walk down and climb down the cliff face of the mountain.
Okay.
Though you can tell the snowstorm itself is starting to lighten. It's still bad, but it's not as bad.
Should we keep going? Car, do you think you can lead us down in the dark?
Is it further under? Much further?
A couple hours walking in the darkness, and like maybe 3-4 hours walking in the darkness, and you'd get to the bottom of the mountain. Pretty
Fucking send
close. Like from the terrain, you can now start to see like the trees and stuff. You would be getting pretty close to the area of the Tin Man. Not that far.
Okay.
So
fucking
everyone's going again.
Send it in, yeah. Another disadvantage.
Another
acrobatic.
disadvantaged one to try and get to the bottom. Okay. Okay, so the snow is getting lighter. It's not as deep here. And in the darkness, as you're trying your best to like pick a path down the mountain, Kieran slips, and as Kieran's slipping, since he's in the middle with Umar, he pulls Umar down with him, and both of you are barely holding them from tumbling down the mountain.
Oh no.
You're gonna need to just do a normal strength check. Like both of you do a normal strength check to see if you can hold on without being pulled down yourselves.
Nope. I never rolled on strength at all.
Oh
dear.
fuck.
Go
So,
on, boys. We're going lapping.
at the weight of the other two party members falling, catching on the rope and it going tight, you both lose
We're
your grip
going
and
on
lose
a
your
trip
footing, and
to see a rocket ship.
you fall as well.
Let's hope the snow breaks our fall.
As you're just fucking tumbling down, it is still quite steep on this part of the mountain. So you initially start off with quite a bit of speed as you start bouncing your way down.
Lovely.
You have one more disadvantage at acrobatics save, and this is how you stop. You can't control yourself stopping, but this is how you can best do it in the dark, surrounded by snow, and tumbling down a mountain. How fucked are you from the fall? So, Umar and Kieran have went. Okay, so this is so far pretty good.
What do I have to roll?
Disadvantage to acrobatics. This is like how you stop. So,
that wasn't too bad either, to be honest.
so
That's the
as you're
average.
bouncing down through the snow, Beric manages to, like, you manage to catch onto like a rock that's actually sticking out of the snow. You manage to somehow catch yourself on it. It hurts, but it's not insanely bad. However, as you've caught onto a rock, like it slams into your ribs, and
Lovely.
you take 15 points of damage
Oh.
slamming into it rib side first. That's halved because you did so well.
Fuck.
Kieran, like the snow's like it's getting so light at this point. You can start seeing more and more rocks. You just see Kieran fucking ding his head off a rock on the way down. Like you're still all pretty close tied on the rope. He dings his head off a rock, and from where you are unsure if his unmoving
Is he-
body is dead or alive.
Is he wearing a helmet? No.
No.
Oh, he's fucked.
Umar also like slams back first into the same rock that Kieran hit, and it's also unmoving, unclear if he's dead or alive.
Wait, am I dead?
Let me see. Hold on. How much health do you have? So Carrick
That was why I wanted to end.
Carrick also hits another rock and is also motionless. You're not dead. You've just took 30 points of damage and are at 0 hit points from the fall. So you've all hit rocks, but Beric like managed to. I don't know what you did. Like maybe you got your hand out first, so your hand hit, then your elbow, then onto your shoulder and your side. Like got kind of a 3-point landing. Didn't
It's gonna be it.
didn't fucking hurt you super bad, but you're severely hurt.
But
But
I
Can
everybody-
I get to them?
You're currently like the only thing stopping them rolling down the cliff because you're holding onto this rock. Like, but the way you're on it, you don't need to roll. You're just kind of stuck on the rock, and the rope is like tied to you, stopping them from continuing on down the mountain. So if you hadn't rolled a
down,
sweat,
is it?
well, you didn't get that far, like because everybody, like those two fucked up, and the news couldn't hold them, and now you're just tumbling down. If you hadn't rolled, you're like 22 and 21, you might have took more damage going down. So just be lucky. Be grateful. Uh, but
What can I
if
even do at this point?
you could try and somehow wedge the rope to the
Into the
rock,
rocks. Well,
and
yeah, I'm gonna
then
just have to try that. I'm gonna have to try to.
try and get to them because the three of them are unconscious right now. You're the only one awake.
I'm gonna have to try to. Uh, would that be a sleight of hand?
Yeah,
Disadvantage.
disadvantage because your hands are froze. Though, oh, so
You lucky fuck.
you you don't untie the rope. You like slip it off, and holding on as best you can, you slip it onto the rock, and then just start packing over it and piling it with snow to add extra weight to hold it down. And it looks as secure as it can be.
Nice.
So I have to
Right.
make a death saving throw.
Can I
all
make my
three of us?
way down to
You can start trying to like climb your way down towards them.
Alright. Get
Though
down to
Mackay,
Kieran
you are right.
first.
You do need to make a death saving throw, not with disadvantage, it's just a normal one. Just a d20. Above 10 is good, below 10 is bad.
Oh,
Okay,
my God.
so you're holding
Gentlemen.
up so far.
5 minutes and then I have to go. I have to make my lunch for tomorrow.
Okay,
So
so
5 minutes max. So it depends what you want to do here.
rolling acrobatics to get to them down the rocks.
Disadvantage, obviously.
Still disadvantage. You barely, like, you think you're about to fuck yourself off the mountain, but you get your stick down that you find, well, someone's stick, you find someone's stick in the snow, and you barely catch yourself. Like,
Alright.
so you will first get to Kieran. He's the closest one to you.
What does his head look like?
Looking at him, his head's caved in the side. He is dead. You don't need a medicine check.
Oh.
He
shit.
took exactly enough damage to instantly kill him.
Oh god. Right, what about
Next is Umar, and you can tell he is barely alive.
Oh my god.
right.
His ribs are pretty much all cracked though. Like he's fucked.
Alright, before I decide to do anything, get down to Carrick.
You can also tell that Carrick is also alive,
Fuck.
better off than Umar, but still some cracked and fractured ribs.
Right, get a health potion into Carrick.
Okay. Roll
That's
2d4
gonna-
plus 2, and then that's how many health points you get back.
Slash R2.
No,
No,
Jacob
it's
rolls
me.
it, and then
Oh.
that's what you get.
Brilliant.
3!
Plus
No.
Or no,
two.
4.
So
Four.
you're on 4 health right now, but you
One.
do barely come around the consciousness. Aching with pain all over. You can feel like your bones and your cuts and bruises are trying to knit themselves back together. But it's a slow process and it hurts as it's doing it.
Climb up to Umar and get one into him too.
Roll another 2d4 plus 2. Oh, and to give him the 9. So he also barely comes around to consciousness, gasping as his almost completely shattered rib cage starts to like kind of crack and spring into place in parts. Like, oh, oh, oh. It's like, look, he like, looks at you, like glances up the rope, and you could just see a bit of like the strength leave him as he sees the shattered form of Kieran, realizing he's the last member of the reinforcements that came to help you. He glances around and then mutters under his breath, just thank you. As he's
It's okay, but
barely
you gotta
holding
find
on.
the strength to get us out of this. We gotta get the fuck off this mountain.
So, how do you want to try and recover from everybody dangling by this rope, essentially?
I have no
Um,
fucking idea.
You could like get them off the rope, and they could also stand like you. You were just since they were unconscious, you were the only thing stopping them from falling.
Stand up. Um, get them to just stand up, and then I'm just gonna have to. I'm gonna cut the rope between Umar and Kieran,
Okay.
and basically everyone's just gonna. And then everyone's just gonna just take the rope off, basically, and we're just gonna have to try to get down on our own.
Okay. So to make it to the bottom of the mountain, since you did roll quite far, you have a final acrobatic save to make.
Here
This
comes
is
the
where we all die.
traditional one.
Wait a minute. Before we move on, I want to use both of my dice rolls for health again.
You would need to rest for a short bit, and I'm guessing you both want to do that.
Can I not do that again? What do I need to roll?
We have to
Uh,
rest.
You've got.
If we
2D.
rest for a short bit, do we take another Constitution hit?
You will.
No, then not rest.
For
then.
stop, since you'll have to stop moving and brace the elements.
No, just keep going.
Okay. So,
Macaulay, if you slip and like hit
Yes,
anything,
I know.
you are,
I
you're
know. I know.
fucked.
so
And then
you
then
could
I
take another healing potion.
wasted 2 weeks of my life.
Yeah, you
What?
could take one of your healing potions.
Can I not? Can I
Wait.
not recover health? No.
If you
No.
want to wait and
If
brace the
you
elements and
wait and then-
possibly suffer more exhaustion, you can.
Right. Fine. Healing potion.
Think about it, you can't take them if you're dead.
2d4
Yeah,
plus
okay.
2. You can take as many as you want.
2d4.
It could have negative effects later on. Neither of you really know enough about potions to know if it's a good or bad thing to like, have took
Not
too
a
many
lot.
healing potions. You are at 10. You are at 10.
That's
Where
not
am I
enough.
at?
You are down by 15, so you're
Oh,
at
so
19.
I'm on. Oh, that's so terrible. Okay, right. Final acrobatics roll, disadvantage.
Final
fucking-
disadvantaged acrobatics.
No,
roll.
for God's sake.
Right, it's not bad, Macaulay. It's not a what.
Last time I rolled
Okay, so
Andrew.
At-
What about Leroy?
He's fucking dead.
Dead.
Oh no,
Definitely
the
dead.
eggs!
Oh, right, okay.
you'll find out about that when you open your backpacks. So,
Right, anyway, I really have to go here to wrap this up now, please.
so pretty
I-
much, you
Worry about the rest of the shit tomorrow.
you definitely injure yourself on the way down. Actually, both of you injure yourselves getting to the bottom. So does Umar, but you make it down. Okay, so you both took 7 points of damage getting down to the bottom with your bad acrobatics.
Okay.
Like that's like slipping, falling onto a knee, tripping forward but catching yourself barely. But you
Yeah.
are at the bottom. What? Did you say wait or what?
No, I said what? We're okay.
Ah.
Keep going.
But you do make it to the very, pretty much bottom of the mountain where it's just rough terrain, and you can see some smoke in the distance rising from the direction of the tin mine.
Right, okay. That will do.